All right, guys, welcome.
Ho, ho, ho.
Cards Corner episode number 10.
10.
Yes.
It was off the rail a minute ago.
Just like
he was
this
doing all
suit.
kinds of weird, antiquated,
This guy's tripping.
outdated. So this is the, dare I say, Thanksgiving edition?
Holiday edition.
Holiday edition. Now let me
Ho,
ask you a
ho,
question.
ho.
Thanksgiving is not a religious holiday, right?
I
Just
think
a-
it's you see where you're going already?
What?
So the Indians, can you say Indians?
See, and he
Can they-
just had
I
to
don't
go
know,
there. I
I
was
don't
just
know.
thinking of turkey and mashed potatoes.
No,
but
no. And I was thinking of white rice and black beans, but then
I'm just thinking of football.
There you go. Who's the big Sunday game we can look forward
Dude,
to?
stop looking
What
at
is
me. He's tripping me out, dude. That is
There's the
trippy, dude.
the three games on Thanksgiving. You have Texans, Lions,
Are you wearing that the whole time?
Redskins, Cowboys.
Can you grab stuff with that like extra hair and everything?
No. And then the night game, you have Pittsburgh and Baltimore, which Baltimore is without their number 1 and number 2 running back due to testing positive for COVID.
Holy crap.
So, no Mark Ingram, no J.K. Dobbins. Next up, Gus
Crazy.
Edwards.
Is that who the third in the depth chart is?
Yep. Gus Edwards and Justice Hill.
Are you warm in that? by the way?
I'm smoking hot.
And that's not a sexy comment.
No, that's
Okay.
I'm dying.
How do you feel about that?
No comment.
No comment. All right. We've unmasked the Grinch, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen. You a little bit better?
Yeah, now if I can
Jimmy's
hear.
probably saying, we've unmasked the Grinch, and when you thought it was the guy on the right, it's actually the guy on the left he's talking about, right?
Wouldn't have surprised me.
Just as hairy.
Wouldn't have surprised me.
I got no hair in my body.
All right, so to kick the show off, as always, if you are not familiar who we are, I am Jimmy, your host, and I am flanked to my left by Devin, and to my other left, Tony, the non-jersey wearing, costume wearing co-host,
Bah humbug.
pretty much.
Mr. Grinch, gee.
So we kick off every week's episode recapping last week's releases, and then we talk about releases set to hit the market. Now, last week was a little weak.
Yeah, a little quiet.
2020 Leaf Ultimate Draft was the baseball release, and frankly, we didn't get a chance to get into it until 2 days ago because of the way Leaf hits our distributors and then get them to us late. But I'm going to be honest with you, open 2 boxes, fire.
Really?
Jason Dominguez auto to 15 out of one. Ronald Acuna auto to 50 out of another.
Damn.
So, can't complain.
Acuna, that's the man.
It's a Latin thing. It's a Latin thing.
Yeah, I figured you'd be
You gotta
happy.
chime into that.
I figured you'd be happy
The show
with
is
that.
about diversity.
It is.
True story.
Now, we get into 2020-21 Upper Deck Series 1 hockey. Now, the one thing I was not prepared for was the Young Gun Chase. And I believe it's pronounced Alexi. I'm not going to tackle his last name. You can do that.
Okay.
More your speed.
You've got mail.
But the Young Gun Chase for him is alive and well in Series 1. People are losing their minds for Alexi.
And even raw. Doesn't have to be
Rod,
graded.
I mean, it's, they just want it.
Just-
Because the last time we looked, it was somewhere between $400 to $500 raw, which is huge. So we haven't seen, even last year with the Hughes brothers, wasn't even up to that level. So I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of ignorant to why Alexi is so big. Do you know why?
Niet.
No,
You're a hockey
This
guy.
is not.
Niet.
Okay.
No speak of the English.
Is that what we can expect from you the rest of the show?
No.
All right, so we did a box for the shop. We've ripped some for customers. You get your 6 Young Guns, right? There isn't a guaranteed hit. Some boxes have been lucky, you produce a relic card. Now, there was an insert that I didn't understand. I read it and went, and see, you're looking at like, here he goes, right? Tony has an issue with my rants, so I'm just putting that out there right now. So it is a insert it says predominant.
So not quite dominant.
Yeah, right.
He's getting there.
He's predominant. Not post-dominant. He's dominant. It's predominant. Upper Deck, what are you doing? I look at that and I feel less. What's the word I'm looking for?
Confident,
Less masculine,
Oh.
right? Hockey dominant, smashing faces, fight.
Just less dominant.
Fight strap. It's less dominant.
Yeah. Not as dominant.
You know, I don't know if
Not
you,
as commanding.
I don't know if you want your hockey players predominant, right?
Right.
You want them dominant, not
Yes.
predominant. You don't want them.
It sounds like prima donna.
Some of them
Prima
probably
dominant.
Yeah. So that was a little weird for me. But the cards look great. I'll give Upper Deck props. The photography is absolutely awesome. The clear cuts.
Stadium club quality?
I would say so, yes. The clear cuts out of it are great.
Those are beautiful.
The acetate that look like the regular base cards, absolutely beautiful. The Young Gun chase, you can tell when you get a Young Gun. So as you're going through the pack, the way the coloring is, it stands out. So you get kind of excited because that's what they offer. 6 Young Guns per box. No hits necessarily. I imagine Upper Deck Series 1 is going to get more and more popular as we go on.
Are they coming out with Series 2?
They will, but it'll be probably
several months down the line.
March-ish.
Probably once they get all the draftees sorted out and who's coming up to the
People
big
get traded, switching teams.
Yeah.
You know, they operate it no different than like Topps with Series 1, Series 2.
baseball.
And then Upper Deck will do. What is it that they offer the Upper Deck? I mean, so that's SP Authentic, I believe, that has the Upper Deck update, which is like Topps update, but for hockey. And they do that in SP Authentic.
Can you make a set out of these?
You can. I'm not sure what the card set is. Do we know what the card set is, producer?
Like up to like 350 or 300 or 351 or something?
I would imagine it's probably in
Well,
the
it's not that many.
200,
imagine
250
yeah.
range. I mean, how many? You're more
I
familiar
don't
with
know
the
what they, I
NHL,
haven't-
so
but I haven't collected that stuff until recently.
so yeah. I mean, you definitely can collect a set. I don't know in the U.S. if they produce Series 1, Series 2 hockey sets like they do Top Series 1 and Series 2 baseball.
And the French have more value.
Correct, and good thing that Tony brought that up. So there is a French variation that has a little bit more value to it. 200 card base set. So,
So
honestly,
when you're
it's
ripping those, keep an eye out for those because you can easily.
correct, and you tell by the front of the card because it will tell you in French that it's a variation. So if you can't
Bonjour.
pronounce it, you got a
It's
variation.
This insert here that's in here reminds me of like Saved by the Bell or something. Something back in
Screech?
the,
So you know when I see that the Upper Deck portraits,
Fresh
it
Prince of
reminds me of
Bel-Air.
1992 Collector's Choice, Upper Deck
Yeah, that's
Collector's
wh-
Choice.
That's a throwback.
But they
Oh, I
also
scored a Conor McDavid, by the way.
they also do a
He's got it somewhere.
Graded.
they also do a Upper Deck Portraits rookie class in that.
Yeah, there's the predominant.
The predominant. See, I told you.
Ooh, premature.
Dazzlers is nice because it's sparkly, shiny.
Sort of looks like a strip club
Is, that,
sign.
is the predominance? You said it's a young gun.
No, look. So the
Shows me.
predominant's the insert,
Okay.
but it says predom. I'm not making
Because
it
maybe
up.
he's a rookie. He's not brought to the.
And then
to
a
the show
U,
yet.
But
UD
when you're a
game
rookie
jersey.
with a team, don't they want to get out the message that they're dominant?
Yeah.
Or do you want to tell the other team, I'm not quite dominant yet. I am predominant.
I'm a dominatrix.
So French is 1 in every 30 hobby.
So that means 1 in every box and a half.
Got
Or a
it.
box and a quarter.
Clear cuts 1 in every 96.
God, I love your mathematicianism.
You know.
So that's
You know what
some
got
interesting
me
breakdowns.
down that path, though?
What?
So when I was a kid reading the backs of Topps cards, figuring out batting average and stuff, it got me to figure out how to do math in my head.
That's how my kid learned to read and everything. They got to
Like, you
read the
think I'm
names off
kidding,
cards.
but That's
Why makes
true.
you think that? Why doesn't he?
Because he looks at me with a non-skeptical look.
I look at you like what?
You look at me
Side-eyed.
like bullshit. All right, so
man.
so that is it for recap. Now we're gonna look forward. This is the part where some people look forward to.
To infinity and beyond.
He's drooling
Yeah.
because the minute I told him what we were gonna preview
My
tonight,
hands were sweating.
Oh,
he
God.
started to twitch.
yeah.
So Releases this week, and actually at the broadcast, the time that we're recording this, release date is. Can you get me some stuff?
Wednesday.
I told her in TV code.
What is that? Oh, is that what that is?
Rip it and strip it.
So, Impeccable Football releases tomorrow.
And as I said earlier, this is like the adult version of Origins. This is the after hours Origins.
And I
Why
actually,
say that?
I
just
super,
the way that it's designed, the sort of the color that
No kabooms.
I love the attention to what it relates to, like you did. I've never heard anybody refer to it as the adult version of Origins.
Yeah, Origins is just it. I like it, but I feel like this was, the mature version. They're like, all right, we're gonna make it a little more advanced, and they did a great job. I mean, some of the images I've seen were pretty amazing, and granted, that's why the price is gonna be so high. Don't cut yourself.
I mean, that is some spring-loaded.
That's a little loosey goosey.
A little bit. What
Here.
happened to that?
I'll fix it.
Rip my pocket open.
Are you all right? Are you sure? Did you throw up in your mouth? Or? All right, so we're going to preview a little Impeccable Football.
It'll be a short rip. It's only 8 cards in the box.
So we're going to talk a little bit about the others that released, though, while I'm getting my gloves on. So 2020 Topps Chrome Black Baseball. That is a brand new product this year. It is roughly, I think, $250 a box. You're looking at one encased auto.
Which is pretty sweet.
Can I get some? I blew a tire out.
He needs some adult gloves. And there she goes.
So read us off what.
So Chrome Black. Oh, man, there's some sweet-looking cards. So 4 cards.
Of course. They're going to show you the best in the mix. to
4
get you
cards per
excited.
pack, 1 pack per box.
One encased auto.
We got a set size is only 100, so that's not terrible. 1 auto, 1 refractor. You got refractors: green, blue, gold, orange, red, and the super refractors, the 1 of 1. Looks like it's got some decent autograph size checklist.
It does. I mean, you're going to get an encased auto. I think you're going to find some big boys in it.
You got some super futures autographs.
Evan should be in there because he has a super future.
I'm glad he's in there because he wasn't at the damn show.
Oh, was he supposed to be?
He wasn't. Like we looked everywhere for Evan White.
I spent the day looking.
Can't find
For a
Evan
card.
White anywhere.
Asking for Evan
Oh,
White.
I thought he was
No.
shopping there.
Matt Festa. We can find Matt Festa.
And Hanniger or Hannigan or whatever.
Hanniger.
Nutbuster
Yeah.
Hanniger.
Jersey. What?
Yeah.
No, Evan
Hey, he was a hot commodity.
And then, of course, releasing is Panini. Thank you very much.
Back to the well.
We went to another 2019-20 basketball product releasing in the heart of 2020-21.
After the draft.
We have, and this is a brand new product, by the way, basketball one-on-one, they call it.
This is
One-on-one.
This is like Lonzo Ball versus MJ. I want to.
Who would win that
More like
battle?
LeVar versus MJ.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, LeVar.
LeVar.
Daddy Ball.
Do you believe in the Ball legacy?
No, and
So
Lamar,
Michael would
LaMelo,
school him, right?
So
Yeah.
Lamelo said in his
It's
interview,
not gonna happen.
He said, you all know who would win that. He's like, I'm not going to comment. That's my dad.
So he alluded to his dad.
Would get smoked.
Yeah.
Oh, he alluded to his
yeah.
dad.
Yeah. He knew his dad would lose. He just didn't want to comment.
I'm a fan of his already.
I know. That's
Sold
some
one of
honesty.
sold one of his cards today, by the way.
Ooh.
LaMelo?
LaMelo, yep.
I thought his dad.
I still think it's
When
a
he played for the Carolina Panthers.
trip that
Did he play for
Lonzo.
the Panthers?
He was
He was a water boy, right?
no, he was
LeVar Burton?
no.
Reading Rainbow?
Tell us how you really feel.
It's not gonna be jacked up.
All
Let's
right.
rip it.
Rip that impeccable.
All right, we're doing impeccable. So through the magic of TV, I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, because he made the face. What face is that?
Oh, shit.
Damn, I need to go get
The
some
fart
ice.
face.
I need to go get some ice face.
I could use some water.
I could use all kinds of stuff right now. So what happened to the box knife? It is not.
It's defective.
That is
Safety hazard.
multi-use
Yeah,
right there.
I guess that's a safety issue.
All right, so I don't know what the configuration of Impeccable is because I've never opened it. I've only seen it opened once. But the stuff that came out of it was absolutely...
Impeccable.
Man, are you on fire or what? Grinch and then
Got him. I can't even.
Kurt Warner,
Hey,
Cardinals jersey.
This is the father I wish I had.
Here we go.
I can't.
I'll do it for you.
It won't stay hard. I mean, it won't stay open.
And you worry about my rants, but come on.
This is 2020. Get with it or get out. Wow.
All right, I'm hearing feedback. Hearing feedback. All right,
It's my Grinch beard.
1 pack.
It's
Ooh,
fat.
it's heavy.
PHAT.
There it is.
I don't know what to think. Oh, what is this?
They got massive decoys just thrown in the box with it.
Okay, that is ultra weird, right?
Just loose decoys.
yeah, there was this laying in the bottom
padding.
here.
It's padding.
That's
We got 4 extra decoys, producer. She's too busy.
She's on Amazon.
Yeah, she's Christmas shopping right now.
so there's an insert auto here. Tractorcito. Is that like Despacito?
Is that like a tractor seat?
It's a
What is the translation?
It's a little tractor.
Derek Henny.
Yeah.
Tractorcito.
All right. I'm hearing feedback. Are you hearing feedback?
I think it's mine.
I think it's. I don't know. Tony's gonna love this one.
Come on, Panini. I got a redemption.
Oh, my
fuck.
God, Keyshawn Vaughn.
Dude, you are the
How did you know
biggest
you-
freaking killjoy.
how'd
on
you
the
know you
planet
got a redemption?
Because I saw it
On the back?
the label. No, it's a label on the front.
Man, and I thought that box was heavier.
Okay, so Devin is the expert pack searcher. So if you need any Kmart exclusive information, he is available.
Dang, those are thick.
So we have Cooper Cup to 50. Cooper Cup to 50.
I know who that's selling to.
That's
Who's that selling to?
The dude that his father-in-law is.
Okay.
He went to Eastern.
Devontae Adams said that Cooper Cup was the most underrated.
Renfro's the
Receiver.
only
We have Kenny Galladay to 50.
I like that they're all numbered.
We got Travis Kelsey to 75. And they're all
Super
100-point
100 point. That's
Easy.
See, now this I like this card.
They got a little texture to them.
I got this jersey.
to 25.
That's dope.
Lance Briggs. It is indelible ink.
I'm down for some Lance Briggs.
Indelible.
Some big words.
Can I get a pen? What kind of pen you need? Something that's indelible, has indelible ink.
Ooh,
Look at that.
KJ Hamler.
KJ Hamler to 99. Look at that. That is not too bad. I like the looks of that.
But
Next
see,
up.
these aren't on-card autos, are they?
Holy buckets.
shoot.
Patrick Peterson to 20. Future Hall of Famer.
That's an on-card auto, right?
It is an on card, and he inscribed it 21 on top of it.
Oh, that's sick.
That's actually in its indelible ink.
I got to see that one.
That's the pen that I want.
Why
Next
didn't he
up.
use the whole spot, though?
Next up,
Oh, the
Jared Allen
freaking mullet.
to 35. Chunky on card. That is pretty sick.
So that first one wasn't on-card, but these last two were. Or was that Lance
No,
Briggs?
It was on card.
Oh, wow. So all
They're- it's
on-card
all on
No,
autos.
it is not all of them.
All of them are on card.
No.
Oh, KJ
No.
Hamler.
Right there.
Oh, that's
So
a cheat.
a rookie sticker.
All right, and we got the redemption. Who do you think it is?
Chunky redemption. At that.
How would you know if it was chunky or not?
I'm going
I'm going.
Jude.
If you say Keyshawn Vaughn, I'm going to punch you in the ear.
I'm going Judy.
You think so?
I'm going.
I'm thinking Judy myself.
I'll take Jared Judy.
I'm kind of feeling Jerry Judy.
CeeDee Lamb.
Shit, I'd be excited if it was CeeDee Lamb. All right, here we go. Oh, that is not bad. Elegance rookie helmet and nameplate.
Oh, shoot.
Chase Claypool.
Oh, wow.
That is pretty good.
That's a winner. I mean, the
What is
receiving
the
core.
helmet and nameplate? What is that?
So that's
I
your,
wonder if it's a part of the
his back of his jersey.
his back of his jersey and a piece of the helmet.
So this is a card that is 3 feet long.
No,
Yeah, you got to be.
it's got a little swatch probably, one by one, like you said.
So let's see.
Maybe
What-
it's a book.
What did you say the style was?
Elegance rookie helmet and nameplate is what it says.
So they got Elegance Retired. They got Elegance Veterans.
So it might be a 101
Wow.
because I'm going to get a giant helmet and a giant name.
That
With the gold chain.
That is right.
Is it powder coated?
And props to Chase Claypool. So D-Mag showed us the video, right?
his video where he.
So D-Mags was dogging Claypool.
I
at the
wasn't a
beginning of the
huge
year.
Claypool just because he's a Steeler, but I gave him some respect with the little Instagram video where a fan of his
Respect
Has
the-
Alzheimer's.
Respect
had
the-
a
the-
father with Alzheimer's, and he posted a video on Instagram.
It's like a switchblade.
Claypool responded, sent him an autographed jersey,
He did, and that was
and it
pretty
was a
cool.
Yeah.
real touching moment for him. I think it was
If you want
good.
to hear about it, look at episode 9. He'll tell you all about it.
He's a good guy. I give him credit,
I was impressed with it. Any rookie that's going to step up and do that kind of thing,
especially a rookie who
A+ in our book.
has had a breakout season, 10 plus touchdowns. I think.
He's one of my FanDuel favorites.
Yeah, bargain.
All right, so now that we've actually looked ahead, we did a preview rip of a card or a product that's not releasing until next week.
And I don't even see that as a thing.
Maybe it is a 101. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll find out. We'll do
Blockchain redemption.
what?
Blockchain digital redemptions checklist.
So-
Held against
Please,
racing helmet
please tell me that is not.
and nameplate auto.
so it's just an internet thing.
Why is this funny? You know what a blockchain digital redemption is?
It's
You know what
just
that
It
is?
doesn't matter. It'll take a year to get it.
They send me a picture of the card.
Right, for your phone.
That's
You
what's,
can, you can put it on,
So you understand it?
you can put it on. Oh,
so
that's
so it
hilarious,
could be
man.
5 feet long or
I used to like you. I used to.
Use it as a screensaver.
God. That is a
I've had 0 to drink
That's a
she's,
keeper.
she's enjoying it, by the way.
because I got no ice.
That absolutely sucks, right?
Not having ice?
Blockchain.
Oh, the blockchain thing.
there's so many of them in here too. The blockchain.
Oh,
wow. Well,
Like
Blockchain,
scrolling and
blockchain.
scrolling and scrolling.
like seriously. Come on, Panini.
good
Damn
cards,
it.
but yeah,
Right.
that's a bummer.
Let's segue auto to. Can you stand up for a second?
Why am I going to stand
He
up?
is
Go ahead,
standing
show
up.
us your jersey. I mean, show us your hockey jersey.
You want to see that?
Yeah,
it's the Mariner
look at
Moose.
that. How about that? The
A little-
Griswold Family Funster, the 2000 SUX, with the big ass tree that come from the
SUX,
forest.
what
Hey, excuse me.
What is that? What is it?
Sucks. Turn around, show me the back. Look at that.
Another movie I have never seen.
You got to
What?
watch it. So we're gonna get into
Freaking
we're gonna
millennials.
get into holiday traditions here a little bit later in the show because this is deep in my family's holiday tradition. So,
Oh yeah, I read about it.
but the first thing we're gonna talk about is 2020 2021 Prism draft picks. So it came out, did some comping of cards, right?
Yeah.
So last year, this time Zion,
Through the roof.
$1,000 autograph.
Bam.
Anthony Edwards, number 1 overall.
$1.50.
Barely $250
Bam.
for a base auto. I didn't realize how impactful March Madness, how impactful people chewing on what the NBA draft is, right?
Yeah.
Because the NBA draft is still fresh.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's really hit market waves yet. I don't think the market has reflected, what the draft, how it's shaken out. I didn't realize how much it. Did you have any idea how much those affected?
I mean, I would imagine that it would affect it. I mean, the hype you got to build up. March Madness is huge for even non-basketball fans.
Sure.
So it gives that extra fan base. Somebody who just randomly sees the March Madness game and starts following. The Cinderella stories.
And I found no hype. I saw no hype behind this year's draft. None.
And I felt like it was just
Zero.
There
It was
wasn't
just
like
blah.
a lock. So I think that's what made it a little more, or a little less anticipated.
Or that the draftees were kind of character.
Yeah. Well, you got him Ball. I mean,
I mean, aside from Ball,
yeah.
I thought he was the.
Does
big
he have his
name.
own shoe already?
No.
No.
Triple
He's
B.
not even wearing his. Not, I don't think he's not even wearing
So last year Zion coming into the market, I was affiliated with the other shop, right? I knew who Zion was.
Yeah.
I wasn't a basketball guy, but I knew who he was. He permeated enough through my life
Yeah.
that Zion Williamson, I was familiar with the name. Outside of ripping some product, I had no idea who Anthony Edwards was. I thought he was an actor. Right?
Or
I
a
thought
national park.
I thought he was Goose in Top Gun.
For some
Isn't
reason,
that who it is? Anthony Edwards?
I think of another.
I thought he was on
flop.
ER.
Oh god!
Right? But apparently he's
They
a
canceled
basketball
that.
player. So when I did comping of some rips that we did for the shop, I was shocked at the disparity between last year's draft class and this year's. I mean, if number 1 is a quarter,
Yeah.
imagine what number 2, number 3. LaMelo, really? You can buy his stuff
Well,
for cheap right now.
Especially when really John Morant sort of took the cake in some of the big ticket cards too.
Well, the injury killed.
Well, but
Zion.
the thing
Yeah.
too, though,
And a short
is
season.
Rui Hachimura, right, coming into the season, he was hotter than Ja. There was a period of time Rui was more
Yeah.
collectible than Ja Morant. So season is kicking off for the NBA, right? Did you have something to add to that?
Yeah, an acquaintance we all have. He was talking about basketball cards today, and he brought up an interesting thing.
Who
with
is the acquaintance?
Mr. Drew Fit?
Fit Drew.
Yeah.
Nice.
So he
Did you
brought.
guys?
we made it happen, but he brought up an interesting point on some rookies from last year that now he's single card chasing due to the pieces that were drafted by teams this year,
Okay.
thinking that the impact of these new draftees on some of last year's rookies will now increase their volume or their value. And I thought that actually was a fair
I
fair
give him
assessment,
credit. That
yeah.
is actually a pretty analytical approach to the draft, right?
So I
the
thought
draft
that-
is
I
more
wanted to-
about pieces this year rather than the solid.
Yeah, there wasn't
The
that
one nucleus,
There wasn't
right?
that lock, so it's the building pieces to last year, and so a guy that he shouted out was PJ Washington,
Sure.
because he thinks with LaMelo Ball there, a better a distributor, his statistics,
PJ's value goes up.
his statistics will go higher.
You know,
so
it's
then his value will
interesting
go
that
higher.
you say that because if you remember the rip we did of Immaculate Basketball, I pulled that PJ Washington 10 of 10.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until after LaMelo was chosen in the draft
That you
did
sold
the
it.
PJ sold.
Yeah, so I mean that's a good.
So maybe people are believing that.
I give him credit. That was a good outside the box thinking aspect for cards.
So for you, Tony, right?
Talk to me.
You're still on the outside looking in, right? You're still trying to understand this. Are we interrupting your nap time? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Did you just
My
have a
apologies.
stroke?
I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm good.
So how do you? I mean, that's a lot of analytical, right? I mean, that's some deep. I mean, you're in your recliner watching Star Wars, and then you have an epiphany. Are you thinking about cards that much, or not really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am now. I'm kind of liking the basketball thing. You know, even though I was kind of disappointed with the draft, not the way it went or the players that are awesome, but that it was just overshadowed. I think to me, overshadowed a bit on the possibility of what trades, because a lot of these big names are being thrown out there, the Hardens of the world, and this and that. But
Even Chris Paul's trade, which happened before the draft, still kind
Right,
of permeated
to
through
Phoenix.
the draft.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So that kind of overshadowed. To me, it overshadowed a little bit.
Sure.
But like I said, these guys, as great a players as they all are, it wasn't a class like last year. You know, it didn't get all the hype. You know,
So I'm really bugged. Is that really a blockchain card?
No, I don't think it is. Because when I look farther,
Oh, thank God. Sorry. I was going to lay down in traffic if that was going to be a digital card.
For the second
Speed
time
bump?
tonight.
speed bump.
Yeah. You know, let's not go there. So it's too soon. It's
It
too
is.
soon. All right. So, okay. So draft didn't quite go kind of how, I mean, there's always drama, right? I mean, it seems like any draft, any sport, there's always side stories to everything. I mean, do you think people are grasping too much at the NBA right now? I mean, every little thing is getting everybody's attention. I mean, how do you attribute trade talks? Because there's trade talks every draft,
Well,
right?
every draft. Yeah, every draft.
So how do you attribute bigger noises with trade talks this time than maybe last year's draft? Was the draft picks bigger so it drowned out some of the draft
Last year's.
speak? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think last year they were just kind of, okay, we're going to go with this draft class. We're going to sort out. We're going to see how our teams work with what we get.
Yeah.
You know, and then this year it's like now you got the Hardens want to move, the Paul's going to move, you know, the Giannis going to move, you know, all these huge names.
Sure.
And of course, my favorite player, Donovan Mitchell, signed a big deal to stay fat in Utah. So
So let me ask you a question. So NBA, like the MLB, right? MLB
Yeah.
puts a lot of marketing muscle behind Mike Trout, right? He's the face of the league.
and you don't see much of him on TV.
You don't.
No.
But they obviously have made a point to say that he is the face of Major League Baseball. Who is the
Right.
face? I mean, is LeBron the face of
Yeah.
basketball right now?
Yeah.
Do you think LeBron is the face, or
Yeah, I think
I know you hate.
It is dwindling. It is dwindling, but I think
So who is the one coming up behind? So I believe the one coming up behind Mike Trout is Fernando Tatis. I think
Yeah.
he is going to be the next face of baseball.
The thing that
Who is the
separates
next
him,
face of
I
basketball?
think Tatis wants to be the next face.
But he has all the components
Oh,
to
yeah.
get there. He has the looks, treats
But I
his
think
fans
that,
a certain
that
way.
adds that extra.
Sure.
In basketball,
you know, I think in basketball it's going to be the young guns. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's going to be the Zion's. They're still
Really?
gonna, he's still marketable. Let's see what he does this year. What his team does. The Jaws, the Trey Youngs, the
Devin
guys from
Booker.
Alaska, Booker, R.J. Barrett. You know,
What about Luca?
oh Luka,
Luka. Luka.
I mean,
I'm throwing in for
He's
Luca
already
before
there.
I'm giving the reins up to Zion for crying out
facts.
loud.
I would
mean,
definitely go Luca.
you would say Luka, but I think with the way the climate is in the world today and how things are, I never mind.
He doesn't have the
Go there.
swag. You're telling me
No,
he doesn't
I-
have swag?
He's okay.
No, he's talking about flavor.
Yeah.
He's talking about flavor.
That's what I'm saying.
So who has the flavor?
He's got the hood swag.
Who do you think has the flavor? If you say Zion, I'm going to punch you in the head.
No, I'm gonna Jimmy Butler.
It's got to be somebody who
It's gonna be somebody young. It's not gonna be any of the veterans.
So
LeBron,
Damian
LeBron,
Lillard, like
Now-
somebody of that.
It's the market he's in though.
Well, yeah, but that,
Would
I mean,
it?
No,
Carmelo
no,
re-signed
it's gonna
there.
be you know Leonard.
Oh,
I'm probably saying Leonard. Nobody's ever mentioned Leonard. You know
because that's
did you do that seriously?
what?
No, was that a serious?
Yeah,
a Kawhi.
Kawhi, man,
Okay.
the
No.
quiet. He doesn't get in trouble.
So
He's not,
would you
know?
be surprised if the NBA, let's say the NBA decides it's Luca? I mean, we don't know, right? I mean,
We
they
don't
can
know.
do whatever they want.
Sure.
And they usher in, image consultants and how to make yourself less, dare I say.
Bland. Yeah.
I mean, is there a barrier when you have a language issue?
Is the poster? Is the,
He doesn't have a
is the
language
poster
issue.
boy?
Is he?
the-
I don't know.
yeah,
I
no.
mean, is he
Is
pretty
the,
fluent?
is
Yeah,
the
he
poster
speaks-
boy going to be like Luca?
He's gonna
Hayward,
get. He's gonna get mad in a minute. He's
And
Here we go.
My boy from
Do
the
it.
Knicks, Porzingis.
Why? Because all these white.
Chris Tapps.
What?
I'm saying it for you.
Oh,
I don't know. It's not going to happen, dude.
bring it, baby.
I think Luca.
Bring it.
I think Luca's fine.
Luca's in there. He'll be in the mix, but it's still a LeBron show.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
How long?
But he-
How long does LeBron
A couple
have the
more
reins,
seasons.
though? You
A
think
couple-
so?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
I'll give him two
It's just
max.
because of his marketability.
So I have to say, I'm not up on watching LeBron and seeing like how much strength he's bringing to the game. Is he still as strong as he was 5 years ago?
LeBron?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he slowed down some.
So he's definitely diminishing skill wise.
Well, yeah.
I think
mean,
he's adapting to his age. He's becoming the
so he's
facilitator.
changing his game.
Yeah,
Okay.
like Carmelo. I mean, they're the same draft class. Like Carmelo has had to resurrect his career, re-signs with Portland.
but they can masquerade
And that's
down.
Melo, I'm
They can
actually surprised he's done. what
They
he's
can
done.
masquerade LeBron's by cutting his minutes down
Oh yeah,
and just kind of okay.
using
wow,
him
he's
in
still-
key moments.
How does
you know.
how does Anthony Davis fall into the mix? I'm curious.
His unibrow's nice.
And wow. And I think I think Anthony Davis was, but we'll see what Durant comes back like.
See now that
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be a guy that I would root
know.
for. I'm a big Durant guy.
You know, is
Kevin-
Kyrie going
KD,
to change his
yeah.
attitude? Because now you
What's
got
wrong with
Durant.
Kyrie?
Huh?
What's wrong with Kyrie?
He's kind
Uncle
of,
Drew?
He's kind of he's kind of an attitude.
Yeah, he's a
Little
temper
mad.
tantrum. He's like my
Little mad.
5-year-old.
No.
You know,
Ouch.
and I want nothing to do with.
So these guys.
I want nothing to do with
Listen to our
Harden's teammate.
podcast.
Yeah, these guys are like
Hey,
some of
shout-
them are Xing the possibility of being a guest.
Shout out to Kyrie.
Donovan Mitchell.
LeBron, if you want to be a guest anytime, you're
Sure.
welcome. You'll sit next to Tony. He'll love it. Put your arm around him.
Only if you give him a tour of like one
Donovan
of your schools.
Mitchell, I love you. I love Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, I'm a fan of.
Oh, huge.
I really am. Like,
Isn't
when-
he the
he's a
reason why
baller.
the NBA shut down?
No,
No,
it was
no,
his
that's
teammate.
Rudy
That's
Gobert.
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
But Donovan also
Hole,
had.
right.
Yeah.
So when people ask, because that's the big thing, right? Who's in 17-18 product? Of course, the big name,
Tatum.
Jason Tatum.
I saw
He's
Second
signed-
name, but I sometimes will throw
He
it
just
out
signed
as
a
the
rookie max.
first name.
Bam Bam.
What's that?
Donovan Mitchell, 17-18.
Yeah, so there's
Jason
that,
just
and
signed
then
Ricky
Bam.
Max.
That's what they were showing. I saw
Adebayo,
something today. Yeah,
Bam Adebayo.
there's
yeah.
Bam,
I could-
Donovan,
Did you see
and
me
Tatum.
pronounce that? I dropped that like it was hot.
Yeah, you did.
Do we
It's the
have any?
alcohol talking.
Do we have any 17 product here?
Is there any 17?
We do.
Oh, yeah,
we have
Prestige.
17-18 Prestige. We have Optic. We have Hoops. We have Don Russ.
Has Donovan been pulled?
It's in the case right now.
Sold.
Yeah, whatever.
How much is it?
All right, so
We should rip Optic right
we're
now.
gonna transition a little bit because these guys just have a show of just opening up stuff randomly,
Hey, I'll buy it.
and we have to hunker down. We have
For
to
the
hunker down the
holidays.
mass, yeah, because we have the holidays coming up. So we had a comment made about kind of last week's episode.
It wasn't me, was it?
I love the comment
Hey, we love feedback.
because it was, hey, I love the podcast. You guys are doing great. But I did go a little bit heavy on the political COVID front last week.
It's life.
It is.
It happens.
Yeah.
So we were talking about it this morning. Tony agreed. He thought I was a little heavy on the political. Devin was kind of fairly
I'm-
neutral.
Yeah, I'm indifferent. I mean, I hate politics in general, so it
And
all
I
so-
don't
goes
know anything about him, but anyway.
one ear
So
out the other.
to explain why that kind of went off the way it did,
Here we go.
Number one, I appreciate the comment. I love it. The fact that you like the podcast and you want this shape to be a podcast that
Gives you a break.
it does. It gives you a chance to take a breather from the nightmare that is
2020.
2020.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Stacy got an ornament, came in the mail yesterday. Do you have a picture of it?
Are you wearing it?
Are you
I might have a picture.
are you wearing it?
Maybe some like earrings, some Christmas earrings or something.
Yeah, I don't think that's where you were going with that.
That's where I was going with that.
It was
Really?
It was a Nightmare
Okay.
Before Christmas.
So
No, it was a prank.
Oh,
if we were in normal times, right?
2019.
If I didn't have a shop,
yeah,
right? I mean, a shop affects. I'm coming to this every day.
yeah. 7 days a week.
My thinking is, small business, small business, small business. And if you're a state that's got heavy COVID rules and all these other issues, COVID sometimes weighs heavily on my mind.
Yeah.
Right. I have nobody to vent to. Right.
Got my phone number.
Whatever. So he complained that I went a little too political heavy. But Stacy and I have got to deal with it on daily, right? So, but we have an extra caveat because producer's a teacher.
Yeah,
So we have like 4 different segments of our life that are affected much differently by every COVID rule that's applied.
Correct.
So it tends to weigh heavy on my mind. So the last thing I want to do is alienate any viewer, right? Sometimes it's just going to come out.
yeah.
This is my opportunity to let loose.
Yep.
I feel comfortable doing the podcast, so sometimes it's going to happen, but I love the comment. Keep them coming. I heard you. We heard you. We love the fact that you like the show. We're trying
Yeah,
to
we
make it
respect
better
that.
for everybody. So
We discussed it.
we did. It's going to happen from time to time. You got to kind of just bear with me a little bit. Understand the situation, I think, is the
Hey,
best.
we keep it raw, so sometimes it just
It is,
it
but we're
flows.
about changing, flipping the script, right?
Yeah,
We're so used to hating everybody today, right? Hate your neighbor.
why can't we be friends?
We want to understand each other now. So
Love that neighbor.
I appreciate it. So, all right,
Moving on.
let's go. So we're going to transition to Tony and I had a unique experience this weekend.
Yeah, you hear that, right? Tony and you,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
dipshit
Spent quality
works,
time together.
works 19 jobs, have no idea when he's available
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And 8 kids.
8 kids. Sometimes I think so.
on a slow day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this, yeah.
So I went down. I had an opportunity to go down to Auburn, the Auburn Super Mall. Used to be called the Super Mall. Now it's the Super Outlet Mall,
Right.
Ooh.
which I didn't understand. Did you understand the outlet part of that?
I couldn't
Discounted
find answers.
prices?
There,
No,
there was no discount.
No,
no,
no.
it was no discount.
We would have walked out of there with a lot more jerseys if that was the case.
That is absolutely true. But the
'Cause we love them all.
rose I picked up was sick as hell.
And then right behind that was the Ryan.
I honestly,
Right next to it?
Yeah, the Tequila Sunrise.
Yep. And then
I saw the
with
Reds,
Navy.
and I thought Eric Davis. For some reason, that jersey,
Really?
that style.
I feel like I got to be
I
up
thought
on
Chris.
this.
I thought Chris Sabo.
No, see that style just screams Eric Davis.
Okay. No, he was thinking Rob Dibble. He was
Rob-
really hoping
yeah.
it was Dibble.
The Nasty Boys.
Yep.
Sell you my shoes for
Norm
$800.
Charlton. Yeah, well, kiss my. Anyway, that's another segment. All right, so, but Card Show was going on.
During COVID.
Right, so this is a Twin Oaks promotion. Usually it's in a different mall, but due to COVID rules, the word keeps, raising its ugly head
It affects
everywhere.
everything, so.
So there was we had word that there was a 50 table sellout. Did you think that was about correct?
I think so.
Yeah.
Easily.
So dealers were limited to 3 tables. So if 3 tables were your limit and 50 sold, that was a lot of dealers.
Yeah, that's a crammed.
So
And there was a lot of product.
Tony and I showed up. First time I had not been a dealer at a show in how many years? 5, 6? It was weird. I didn't know where to put my hands.
First
Wad
time I've
of
been to one.
cash.
First time I've
Like,
been to
I
one
was-
in 10 years.
I was like, I was like Will Ferrell and, Talladega Nights. I'm like, I don't know where do I put my hands,
Did you have a sanitizer wipe with you?
I did not.
He had me pointing to the sanitizer.
So when we walked
Spritz.
into there, at first we couldn't find it, right? We walked in, it was like ghost town. We're like, are we in the right place? And then we turn a corner.
No, you're wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
At first, we walked in. We had to find a bathroom right away because we just had some venti,
Ah.
Starbucks venti, and we had to go to the bathroom.
Correct. It was
And that took an hour to
it
find.
was a pee break, and then
Yeah.
we turn a corner, and the hum of people drumming through crappy white boxes from 1982
Ooh.
was in front of us. Now, so we talk about COVID all the time, right? Rules, rules, rules. Things that we're supposed to do. Businesses have to be 25% capacity, wear masks. You got to have a breathing apparatus. You got to have Thanksgiving virtually, which, if you're eating turkey, kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Doesn't taste very good. But other than wearing masks, and Tony can attest
and
to this,
everybody and their mother was wearing
everybody
a mask.
was wearing a mask. I'll
Correctly
give
wearing
them
a mask. Correctly wearing
but no social distancing.
No.
And touching everything. And
Like they say in Canada, they weren't even less than a meter apart.
correct. We were shoulder to shoulder in some tables. Like if the governor saw that, he would send in the National Guard. He would be so pissed.
Or have
Hope-
conniption.
Hopefully he has some
Conniption,
sports
I mean-
card fandom.
His wife would come down and raise all holy terror.
So there probably was 25% occupancy
For that mall.
For that mall, but 24 and 3/4% of that 25
Was all in that corner.
Was in the card.
Is in the cards.
And
And
they-
you can walk to the stores and you're in and out in 2 seconds.
And they decided to put all the cards into a tenth of the mall.
Yeah, instead of
They
spreading it
jammed
out.
all into a
Yeah.
into a small corner.
And when we
So,
talk about the size of this mall, this is when they used to be called Super Mall. This mall is huge.
Yeah.
huge.
Like you're tired, you take breaks when you do a section.
Like you got to rest. Like I'm
Yeah.
like,
There's food courts and multiple.
can you please get
sections.
something
You
to
guys
drink?
are
'Cause
riding
I'm
the
dying.
kitty carts,
Yeah.
the little mobile critters.
It was
Does that-
almost like if there was the COVID was going around at the mall, they contained it to that one section.
Right. If it was like the movie Outbreak, we would be at
Yeah.
the edge of the tent, looking out, going, "Please help
Right.
us."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna drop the weapon to incinerate everything is right there in that section.
But was there anything good?
So let me ask Tony. This was your first show experience in a while,
years,
right?
10 years at least.
What'd you think?
I was very excited about it. I like the fact that I missed all that stuff. I missed the negotiating, the rumbling through the white boxes. The fact that in all likelihood somebody there is going to have
What
you
you're looking
want,
for.
What you're looking for,
Little
I wish
Pistol Pete.
Oh, Pistol Pete. Oh my God, they had him everywhere. I couldn't get the $1,000 card, but that's okay.
Oh,
that was all PSA graded. And
That's where you
whatnot.
use
But
Jimmy's stash.
I was wishing D Mags was there because what I did was in this rookie heavy
Burrows.
card game, Burrows was everywhere.
So do we roll a remote at the next? Do you think they'd let us do a remote podcast?
I think so. I mean, I'll have my little my gimbal. I'll follow you around.
Like your little,
We'll see if we can put the camera
like
on.
a fan to blow the COVID away?
No,
or-
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that would be pretty sweet.
Would you be down with going to the next one?
Heck yeah.
Could you make room?
Could you- yeah.
Because you got a lot of visitation stuff going on.
Yeah,
right?
no. We
And
just-
remember, this isn't one of those things where it's like, oh, I got to be back at a certain time. No,
No, you have to.
no.
You have to
After
give
the
time.
mall, we have to go to the gun shop, and after the gun shop, then we come.
So if my wife gives me a curfew, you're not going to drive me home and make sure
Yeah.
I'm
No,
home.
no. Yeah, that's when you go.
That's-
I was at the mercy
Yeah.
of the guy driving.
No place like
Yeah.
home.
My phone lost
I just
power.
click my heels.
shut the
So-
navigate. Yeah.
But I had to drag his ass around to.
Bodyguard.
Did I? I mean, because you were doing the bodyguard thing.
Yeah.
So were you surprised at people knowing who we were?
I was a little bit like I knew they.
No, you
like-
were
like,
culture shocked.
I was like,
the look on your face
they
is
knew
like,
who Jimmy was. They knew who Jimmy was, and then when Jimmy introduced me, and then it was a thing like, oh, that's the other guy from the podcast. And I was like,
That's-
yeah, whatever.
Seriously. Like, who,
But it was a Jimmy thing, and I let it roll.
So don't be surprised. I mean, people do watch us.
but do you feel like are they people from your Turf and Dirt Instagram?
So
No,
I think
I think for me, from outside looking in, it was from the years and years of being in the business.
Gotcha.
so.
In one capacity or the other.
I think it was originally Turf and Dirt. I think it was they knew who I was by being a dealer there,
Gotcha.
but all of that attention transitioned into what we're doing now.
And you got to understand, when they caught wind and he was telling him about local card shop, Bellingham, Turf and Dirt, podcast, you can see the people around him that were doing other things.
Starting to
Would
lean in.
They
stop.
were leaning in each other. And then as we walked away, it was like, excuse me, are you with the podcast
Yeah.
and Turf and Dirt, blah, blah, blah? And like, yeah. So I had a whole stack of business cards.
So I was gonna say, so Stacy, did you just hear that was business cards? Business cards.
We need to figure out some. No, I mean that's a legit thing. Stacey and I were talking about it. We've got to come up with some Cards Corner stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
Cards Corner's starting to get out there.
I mean, 10 weeks in,
well, not
we're
just
no
that.
joke.
You can do a Cards Corner business card.
That's what we're going to do.
Or a flip side of things.
Oh, yeah.
One side is Cards
So,
Corner, the other side is Turf
if
and
people
Dirt.
aren't familiar, Cards Corner is our show.
It
right?
is.
Turf and Dirt sponsors it.
Yeah.
I happen to own Turf and Dirt, so I mean Turf and Dirt, thank goodness. Production costs, right? Things that cost money. Turf and Dirt is sponsoring, but Cards Corner is our creation.
Yeah.
We came up with it out of nothing.
Out
But
of
we
a joke.
Yeah.
did we do it as a joke?
No, out of a joke.
Out of a joke.
I brought it up out of a
It
joke.
kind of was. It was like,
Hey, imagine we did a podcast on this thing.
and then it was like, and then Devin was like, "What do you think
I'm
if we
in.
did?" And he
Boom.
was like, "I'm there." And,
And
I'm,
then, go to a restaurant, have dinner, start doodling on a
so
card while
but
you're drinking.
from
and
the time
how about the
of
Ks?
idea to fruition was a week.
If that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe.
I mean,
You guys were
it
rolling.
went quick.
You guys, just like everything you do, when you set your mind to
Feet
it,
first.
it's like, boom. It's there. It's like, let's get this rolling.
But you guys understand that Cards Corner wouldn't be today without you guys, right? I mean, it's one thing to lead it along and kind of, come up with the topics and do the
we
thing.
we
but,
had a little flavor.
but it's, you guys are the salt and pepper of
There we go.
my pot roast.
I don't like pepper. Why?
You
is
could
he
be
pepper and I'm
salt.
salt? I like paprika.
She thought that was funny, though.
I'll be the
Did you
rosemary.
called her a name earlier, though, didn't you?
Paprika?
Oh. All right. So, did you enjoy the show? Did you think it was beneficial?
I would go again.
Did you see anything that?
What was missing? Like, what do you think could have made that show?
And I'm going to weigh in on that in a second.
what
but-
it was
and if you
missing-
say, "Here you go again," I'm going to kick you off.
Okay.
I'm going to mute your mic.
Yeah, I just want
I
to
have
know
the button right here.
what could have made it better.
What could have made it better was the organization of the table setups.
So it was on the dealers that had
There
the
was
issues.
so let's say 50 tables.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say 50 dealers. 3 were organized. 4 or 5 were organized.
How
in
many of
order-
them were LCSs?
0.
Really? You would
think-
say
Yeah.
You would say
we
zero.
Had, we had one guy. We had one guy at the very end.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
he has a business.
but he's a board game business.
He's a board game business, but he
Dabbles
I guess
in.
because he has
GTS contact
he has
or whatever.
contacts or accounts. He's able to get some product. Not,
So
he's only
I don't think there
allocated
was
so much.
necessarily an local card shop There were local business guys that maybe had a board game shop.
How about how many
Or-
breakers were there?
But,
What would your guess be out of 50?
I'd probably out of 50, I'd say 10.
You think
Yeah, I would probably
there was a
agree
chunk
with
of
that.
breakers?
Yeah, maybe
It was.
a little bit less than a dozen. But there was a lot of those guys were set up in some form or another, had business cards of
Sure.
what they sell,
sure.
Gotcha.
but not. I don't think a brick and mortar.
Now,
How many of them were wearing gloves?
zero.
Zero.
Dummies.
So the two things that I picked up on, three things I picked up on. So I had a good time. I enjoyed it. It was the first time in how long that I didn't have to think about
5 years, she said.
turf and dirt. How long? 18 months.
My bad.
So,
18.
but my goal was to buy some, right? That was my goal.
the
It didn't matter what it was. I didn't care if it was a Pete Rose jersey or cards
Or
or
some
whatever.
99 chrome.
I did, and that was brutal, by the way.
Just
So
stuck together.
Were they?
the thing I noticed, though, from the last time I was at the show as a dealer, it was a lot of the same guys. Right? You saw it. We were kind of falling into the same
And we had the conversation too because I said, not just the same guy. They probably brought some of the same product they've had.
stuff. Now,
Ouch.
for me as a buyer, and I noticed this, like I was ready. I mean, you were holding a wad of cash, right? I was ready to buy, but there was no presentation that reeled me in. So
So should we go?
I'm
as-
about presentation.
as dealers.
No,
No,
You don't think so?
No.
I thought I had an idea on that.
I think
by
that
the
would
way.
be-
no, we can talk about it. I mean,
See, yeah, it was good when you thought I would say no, right?
no,
But-
I just
So what I thought was, why not just go and set up a informational booth?
that
Put a
yeah, we
TV with
discussed
some Cards Corner episodes playing,
but like we said, I mean,
Turf and Dirt Cards Corner
we
shit.
could have some product. We can be live.
So the issue I had was when I go up to a table, I'm looking for something to catch my eye, right? If you have dusty boxes that look like you were using the same 3-row boxes from 1982, you have the same top loaders from 1991, whenever they were made,
Yeah.
and they're scratched as crap, right? And you can't see through them unless you have it up to the light and you're doing it a certain way. My eyes aren't going to go to the good product that you carry.
yeah,
I have no doubt there were guys that had great stuff. But because the presentation was poor, my eyes were not super excited to focus in on that. Okay, go ahead.
no.
No, you were. The hand
No,
movement
no.
says I'm
'Cause
ready to weigh in.
I'm just thinking about the card show and doing a live feed from there, like a podcast. You know, from
so
there. From
there
the
are
location.
guys down there that their presentation is poor, but they got great product. And don't get me wrong, every guy down there has a good story.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves to be down there. Now, the one thing I found interesting, and I wasn't expecting, was a new breed of dealer. Okay? And we walked by it, and I made comment to Tony, and he made a comment about it in the beginning of the show. One guy, 8-foot table, one display case, 9 people standing around him. Absolutely nothing to look at except what's in that case. And I walked by and I had a quick glimpse into what was in there, and I made a comment to Tony. Here's what this guy is doing. And Tony kind of looked at it and went, oh, shit, you're right.
what was it?
So it was a gentleman who maybe wasn't a dealer before, maybe collected a little bit before, but he got in big on the Zion, Ja Morant, Prism craze.
I remember that guy.
Graded everything he came across, spent thousands on boxes, and just recently got his PSA 10 silver Ja Morant's back. Decided to buy a display case and put them all in there to try to recoup some cost.
Wow.
Now, they were beautiful cards,
Anybody
but
buying?
When I walked by
No.
there at the end, leaving those stacks were all.
It was-
and it was like cards, you know, like
it
just
was
shuffling,
full.
just
He
spread
didn't
out.
sell a thing.
Ooh.
Now, as a traditionalist, and I consider myself in the card world a traditionalist, right? You have an LCS, you do your thing, you grind it
Yeah.
out, blah, blah, blah. This is a new breed that we're going to start to see.
The grader.
Guys that have crap and grading finally gets it back, decides, I have too much money wrapped into this, I need to recoup it.
Dump.
Where's the local show? I mean, dare I say they sit back and go, is there idiots out there to buy it? Or I looked at it as used car salesman.
Yeah.
I think they look at it as, I hope the people that are going to come buy my product aren't educated.
So let me ask you, walking by that, was there any like
Appeal.
Yeah, was there any appeal to it at all? It was literally one case, like I have my vintage,
Yeah.
right in the middle of an 8-foot table, nothing else, dude
Him
standing
and
there.
his chair.
Did he have
That's
some
it.
coffee at least?
No.
Yeah, he had coffee.
Okay, that's fine.
He had
He did?
like a-
I didn't
he
even
had
notice that.
He had
My eyes went away so quick,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even tell if he had a syringe in his
As a
arm
matter of
and he
fact,
was
when we
shooting
made a
up.
few passes, we didn't stop.
I absolutely
that's all.
did not pay any mention.
He should have.
I had more fun talking to the guy. And by the way, I went to the
You have
car
writing.
show.
You have writing on your hand,
Oh,
by
it's
the way.
fun, yeah. And I went.
Dude, that freaked me out. Don't do that. Warn me next time.
Some digits.
Because I thought I was seeing
You know,
something.
I went to the card show. I walked out of there with a model. Okay,
He
but
did.
but the point of my story is the guy who was selling it. He had an array of cards like no other.
Yeah.
He had a ton of stuff, and I made it difficult for myself. I asked for cards that are kind of like non-existent. They're only on
Obscure.
eBay. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Richie Incognito on Parallel. You know, so but he had a bit of everything. He had cards from entertainment cards, wrestling cards, Planet of the Apes cards.
Oh, wow.
I mean, but this was a fiasco. There was cards everywhere. How you keep track of your inventory
Inventory.
and cost is beyond me.
Yeah.
But he was genuine. He was honest. He was good. You know, he was
He was a
simple
good guy.
Yeah,
he was a good guy.
and,
Simple
you know,
guy.
Yeah.
You know.
Looking to just to make a buck on his stuff. And he had good stuff. The presentation was not super good. I mean,
No, I give it a 2.
I would hire me out as a consultant on how to do a good show presentation. I mean, I'm about crisp top loaders, white boxes, make it appealing to look at so
what
people
I'm
will
telling
spend
you.
some
Some
time.
guys had cases that were like, wow, this is like a custom. Like, okay, I see the cards there, and he's like, oh, wait a second. He pulls the drawer out, and there's another layer of cards underneath. It was like wooden made, and it was pretty nice.
You were impressed with that.
Oh, I love that
Yeah,
shit.
he went back 3 times
Yeah.
just to see the drawer. He's like, "Can you?"
That's where we just we can go and we blow
disappointed me when he
the
wanted-
roof off.
So,
disappointing for me with that.
so do we consider doing a table? Turf and Dirt would buy it.
Can we do this too while you're there?
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because you can now you're getting now
We
you're-
need
now
just
you're really-
electricity. That's all
Yeah.
we need.
Yeah, and you-
Actually,
and-
this
and
is
then-
battery powered,
Yeah.
so we don't even need electricity. We
and
can
then-
record
and not
this
just
shit.
that,
and
you
just
got that
charge.
you got that open chair where you can chime in to everything and anything sports card.
Now,
show.
would you be offended if I took this out and started interviewing people? Be like, "What's up?"
Yeah, I'll be at the other side of the thing. You know, with
whatever.
the
All right. So the thing I was surprised about, though, we went by. So we talked about recognizing who we were, what
Yeah.
we were doing, Turf and Dirt, Cards Corner, getting excited, sign autographs, the whole thing, right? Guy had Seattle Children's Hospital cards and sets. I honestly I don't know, because Bartell's is not a local
It's
thing
not,
for
not
us.
for us. No.
But you called our producer.
Oh,
Didn't you?
sorry.
You called our producer.
I saw red and blue lights, so
Another one.
I was giving my tribute.
Is that door locked?
No, but Santa's protecting it right
Yeah,
now.
we got you.
So I honestly didn't know about the Bartell sets until we encountered Guy at booth.
And it's an
right.
entertainment set.
Right. So
It's not
25 card set, one autograph, $25 per box.
Local.
Sold exclusively at Bartell's. I was interested by it.
2 per
because
customer.
You were allowed 2 per customer.
Okay.
Shout out to my in-laws, by the way. Ended up snagging me 6 boxes,
Ooh.
which I recover on Thanksgiving. We're going to do a live Turf and Dirt rip at
There
the
you go.
dinner table.
Gonna pull it out of the turkey like stuffing.
Need to see
I
what
think
the,
if not,
the,
I'm going to CG it.
the autographs are.
So I decided, you know what? Let's get into what the sets are about.
Mhm.
So let me make sure I get this correct. Where is he? The director. He's somewhere on here. So he's the director of something and something. So anyway, he was interviewed by GoGTS, right?
Okay.
So they had questions. Okay, but they're like everything, right? You do something, controversy pops up. So people started to get offended at these sets for charity, right? $25. There were 11,000 sets made. 10,500 sets were given to Bartels. They held back 500 for giveaways.
Yeah.
Whatever the hospital can use, right? But it come to find out, it was, you did the math, right? 10,500 was roughly $280,000 the hospital benefited from. They contacted the athletes, Ken Griffey Jr., Russell Wilson, Ciara, Macklemore, all these others, and they all agreed to do autographs in it.
Any Seattle Storm.
So there was
And
a
Sounders.
couple, some
Goalkeeper.
Sounders, and there was also, which I was impressed with, there were 3 kids that had autographs and cards in the
That's
set.
cool.
These were kids that battled their illness and either beat it or were currently fighting it, but the Seattle Children's Hospital decided to use them as spokespersons in helping raise money. And that is what it looks like there. So we found out that the autographs were limited. So some were numbered to 100, but they weren't numbered. So, but there was only 100, and some were upwards of 1,000 that were done.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So none of the cards are actually numbered.
None of them are numbered. So my guess is, and he wouldn't confirm the numbers, but my guess is Ken Griffey Jr., Russell Wilson were limited to about 100. Now,
Yeah.
the athletes, none of them profited on their likeness, their signature, but the hospital gave the athletes an option on where within the hospital the money could go. So, for instance, Ken Griffey Jr. had an endowment with a certain department of Children's Hospital. So, wow, we don't usually see lots of flashing lights go by the shop.
And Gary Payton, Sir Mix a lot.
Right. So Ken Griffey Jr. commanded that his dollars that benefited him would go to his certain endowment within the
Okay.
hospital. So every athlete was given an opportunity to focus where that money would go.
Mitch Haniger.
All of them signed away their rights, no issues. But people, all of a sudden, they started showing up on the secondary market. Okay.
As is everything.
So when we were at the show, a guy had Ken Griffey Jr. auto, was selling for $300.
Oh.
Russell Wilson was roughly the same value. I ended up buying all but the Ken Griffey Jr. autographs that he had
Oh, wow.
because I wanted a local flavor for the shop. Even if I couldn't recoup the costs, I was ready to purchase what he had. I bought the
Yeah.
remaining sets that he had because I wanted them for the shop. We dropped a pretty good amount of money on this guy, right?
Yeah.
Twice,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. So, so the question was asked to the director, how do you feel about the cards ending up in the secondary market?
And being basically sold.
Right.
The
I mean,
money
how
not being
how-
donated.
Right. And the guy was actually the senior director for operations and development of Seattle Children's Hospital.
Okay.
And he was on the Go GTS podcast being asked these questions. So I was expecting him to say, I'm a little pissed by it. Like we were intending this to be a complete charity fundraiser.
Because
People are taking
Bartels is sending the money.
Right. So Bartels said, look, we're not going to take any money for it. And not only are we not going to take any money, we're going to clear an entire shelf for you. We're
It's
going
going
to
to be
clear
the
some
storefront.
You all right? We're going to clear some space off. We're going to sell it. We're not going to keep a penny. All of it's going to go to you. So the number referenced in the podcast was 250,000. Hospital didn't care. Director of operations and development was like, in order for the sets to leave Bartels, you have to buy them. So we're already getting our money.
Yeah.
So once those sets are gone, we're getting our $250,000 to $280,000.
Most people
We don't
don't-
care what happens after that.
Right.
If somebody can get anything above that, good for them. And I was actually impressed with that. It created a lot of vigor, kind of excitement about chasing this stuff.
Yeah.
Because think about it, children's
And- but
hospital stuff is
it
unique.
Let the sellers, the flippers, off the hook.
Off the
on
hook
on
completely.
On not feeling guilty and like,
So you said you bought some of the autographs?
I did.
And so you bought Griffey or you bought?
I did. Do we have those available that we can show D-Mags a little bit? So there was a couple Seattle Storm. It was a I think it was Haas.
I saw you got Cliff Averill
Spencer
in there.
Haas, is that it?
That's
is that his name?
Ex-UW guy.
Yeah. He was in it. 2 autographs of his. The Sounders, Stephen Stephen Frey. His autograph was in there. Ashley Clark, who was the Seattle Storm player.
Okay.
There were several autographs.
Russell Wilson's wife.
Let me
Yeah, I
see. 1
didn't
2
buy
step.
that one.
No. So we got Spencer Hawes, Alicia Clark, Stephen Frey, and Cliff Averill.
Cliff Averill for the Seahawks. So,
Cards
I mean,
are-
I just
and
felt
they're cool.
compelled.
They're beautiful cards.
So I was impressed with Seattle Children's. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I have a personal story with Seattle Children's. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay.
So
You don't want me to go into that right now?
The
Is
box-
that too much?
the box
for
is
you?
$25, and these cards were $30.
Yes and no.
Who sets the market value for these? If people are selling them,
It's whoever's going to be willing to pay for them. Now, there's somebody who's going to say that's a $5 card. I don't care.
They sort of
I
give
like
a
the
vintage,
local flavor.
a vintage design to the card.
Well, but that's the relationship. The funny part is, he had a relationship with the guy that works at Topps. They were fans and collectors as kids together. But when Topps decided to partner with them, they said, "We'll print them. You got to do everything else.
so you got to design.
We're not
it.
messing with the athletes. We're not coming up with the contracts. We're not. You got to come up with the images. We'll just put it to cardboard and print the damn thing."
Well, there you go.
So Children's Hospital did a lot of work,
Yeah.
But I give Children's Hospital credit. I mean,
The 70s. sort of
Children's
look to it.
Hospital took care of our daughter when she was having some issues, right?
My younger sister was there for quite
My
some time
son.
too.
had 2 surgeries there.
So I was there. I was a 13-year-old way back in the day. Didn't way back. I mean, damn, that is almost 31 years ago. Believe it or not.
To the day.
To the day.
Well, December 16th it would be to the day, but
Oh,
so
we're getting close.
shout out to Children's. Every time there's charities that pop up, Stacy and I have given money, cards,
So worthwhile.
anything that we can do. Seattle Children's, please give. Now the idea came up, are there other children's hospitals going to do this?
Yeah, I asked the question. There's children's hospitals in a lot of states.
So the unfortunate part is every children's hospital is part of their own network.
Yeah.
So Seattle Children's said, I hope so. We are ready to facilitate any questions they have,
Let's hope they're influencers.
but
Yeah.
nobody's reached out to them as
Sure.
of this time, as of the time of the Go
Just gotta get
GTS
the right
podcast.
right connections.
So, I mean, I think it was great. Good on them. I don't know. I was kind of warmed by it. I mean, you can have certain opinions about somebody trying to profit from it, but the fact that they put it out, I think, is great. So,
Yeah. No, I mean, I think
You
it's
don't have a heart,
Good
right?
to have.
Huh?
I have a heart, right?
You?
Yeah.
Oh.
Believe it or not,
It's not the Tin Man.
I do care about certain issues.
I hear you. I believe you.
Really?
Yeah. Because I
Look
ordered
at all that
I ordered
skepticism.
a grande. He's like, no. Get him a venti. Get him
All
a
right.
venti
So,
with 1/16 peppercorn.
this is our
peppermint.
peppercorn, really. So, this is our pre-Thanksgiving. We can say Thanksgiving, right?
Yes.
It's like predominant.
We-
you can
we-
say anything you want.
We pre-funkin'.
So this is our pre-Thanksgiving episode. We are almost eve of Black Friday, getting close.
I'm ready
Getting
for
close.
some,
Getting close.
some Corona
Got that
turkey
credit
bowl.
card ready to go.
Corona turkey, like Corona the beer.
No,
I'm ready for some Corona Extra.
I'm playing me some ball on
All right.
Thursday, wearing my mask.
All right, so we're gonna take a little bit of a commercial break here. This is gonna be a message from Turf and Dirt. When we come back, I've got a great Beckett story that we're gonna talk about.
No,
a
let's
little
get
bit.
it.
We're gonna
Tom
get
Beckett?
after it. No, Beckett.
Okay.
This isn't a
Entertainment show.
This isn't a Quantum Leap situation. That's where you're going with that, right?
Yeah.
Quantum Leap?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, after this break, we will be back and we're going to talk a little bit about Beckett. So stay tuned.
And we're back.
All right, guys. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, we could all hear you.
All right. As promised, we're going to talk a little bit about Beckett. So, this story popped up on my radar about a week ago. I wanted to discuss it last week, but I didn't get a chance to research it enough yet. So, there was a feed that came across my Facebook feed. I do a lot of like the scammer stuff, kind of updated card issues. And there was an issue with fake Beckett slabs entering the market. Pertains to us as a shop. We got to be on the lookout for any new
Somebody trying to
kind of crap,
sell
right?
it to you. Yeah.
So last night when Stacy and I were meeting about what we are going to do for the show, we decided to do the research in the fake Beckett slab story. And so what we found out was, so each card company has a patent for their slabs, right? Special design, it's all patented, and they have their own assigned patent number for each slab.
Gotcha.
Beckett is very prominent on the bottom of their slabs, with their slabs. So we found out that the cards seem to be predominantly Luka Doncic silver prisms. Seem to be the cards in the fake Beckett slabs. And the Beckett slabs are originating from, guess.
Overseas?
Correct.
Singapore.
Sing some more?
So the cards appear to be real, but the slabs appear to be fake. And here's
Okay.
how we tell. So on the bottom of the Beckett slabs, there is a patent number, and it's PAT.6295750 space BI. That's what it should look like. Now, the fakes don't have the period. Believe it or not, the fakes will be PAT.6295750 BI.
So they never have a period.
The fakes do not contain the period. Now, okay, so as you can imagine, I developed a headache over this issue. So if you go through the pain and suffering of creating a Beckett slab, right, of
Just add
putting
the
in all
dot.
the digits, you can't put a freaking period in it.
Because Beckett bought worldwide every
Every
single
period.
period. that's available out there. He's
So
chuckling.
What would be the purpose of that?
This is the pain of my life. Our purpose of...
making a fake slab because it's not great. Are they great? You're saying that?
Yes.
It's okay.
Oh, they're coming out all 10s.
Oh, okay,
right? So we're
gotcha.
talking about Beckett 10 slabs are
Ouch.
being faked. Everything looks good except the period missing from the patent.
We got to get one.
that
We
makes
have
me
pictures of it, and I'm sure with this broadcast, I'm sure with the magic
make
of
that happen.
Disney,
Television.
So you said it's really Luca. That's
Luka
the hot-
Doncic,
said there's pictures of
silver
it?
prisms, seem to be the predominant.
Kind of like your redemption.
It's not a blockchain, so shut up. Silver prisms seem to be the primary card in the fake Beckett slab. So we know that grading is a huge thing right now, right? All companies across the board, PSA, Beckett, SGC, even GMA, for crying out loud. And I could not believe what came up next
I'm ready.
during the research. So you figure, right, whoever's doing the news story can't just leave it with that. No. They know Jimmy's watching this shit and is going to read it, and then he's going to have a whole thing that's going to create a whole situation
We want to jack him up.
on the podcast. So,
Yeah.
so the very next story published after the Beckett fake slab story was Greg Limberg, the founder and chairman of the investment company that owns Beckett, was sentenced to 7 years in prison in
can't make this up.
2020 for bribing an elected official. And you think, okay, well,
For
maybe
what? He needed a building
Right.
permit.
What the?
And then the very next thing, which completely puckered some situations,
Some holes.
2019 Beckett vice president, and they put his name,
Ouch.
which we're going to go with it,
Bus thrown.
Jeremy Murray, and regional sales manager Derek Ficken, I'm not making that up, Ficken, forced to testify in Upper Deck versus Leaf. A former BGS and current Leaf employee had found that there was an unusual amount of black label 10s given to the Leaf Company. That just happened.
Mic drop.
So the next question after that is, we are so hard driven towards grading, right?
Yeah.
This is just a small snippet of Beckett doing dirty behind the scenes. And if
Yeah.
they sue us, we don't have any money, so
Come on.
pound sand.
I'll definitely give him that costume.
Nah.
And that hat.
Creepy.
Yeah.
So, obviously, with PSA, we know their horror stories, right? I mean, they had federal indictments this year for doing dirty with, I do believe it was it Probstein?
That just
No, it was
sounds bad.
PWCC.
Interesting.
So the presidents of the two, FBI investigated. Indictments were thrown down.
It's the
Company
hobby,
was
man.
fined.
The hobby's too hot.
So how in God's green earth do we put so? And Stacy made this point yesterday, and I just thought of it now. We talk about grading almost every episode because there's some crap that comes up that just irritates me.
It's just the trend. I mean, it's a big thing.
But how do we put so much faith behind these grading companies when they're doing dirty behind the bus?
He's
I have
lost.
no idea.
Can you help?
Nah, he's drowning over there.
No, but serious, like it blows my mind because I see 10 guys a day who have just gotten into the hobby want to grade everything, and I'm
Yeah.
like, and I'm thinking to myself, all these nasty stories I'm reading about PSA, Beckett, and Lord knows SGC was in some controversy earlier for trimming.
Man, everybody.
It's just funny because
Everybody's got their hand in the pot.
I haven't graded one card. I haven't.
So
There's
he
no
thinks
interest.
it's funny, it's cute, haha, fun, but it's a concern, right? I mean,
Oh, yeah, I
because
mean-
the more money is produced, the more crooked opportunities abound, right?
Yep.
It's that credibility. I mean,
And absolutely, and it scares the crap out of me. Like,
and it's also a deterrent for new collectors.
I honestly
you know?
thought when the crap hit the fan for PSA earlier this year, and they were under FBI investigation, it was a big thing with the president. I thought that was it. PSA.
Hey, this is Wolf of Wall Street type shit, man.
right. PSA is done. When it was found that favors were being done for PWCC president for certain grades, getting grades for favors, and the whole situation. FBI. I mean, come on, for the FBI
to get in
to
and
activate their sports card fraud division,
their resources.
right? To get after a grading company,
To
you have
bump
to
it up
be,
to DEFCON 4.
right. You have to be doing some dirt behind
Yeah.
the school bus, right?
I hope it's not behind the school bus. Keep it away from the kids.
I don't know.
That's how Jimmy rolls. Just the jokes, I'm saying.
Too bad we didn't have like a chicken. We can just like.
Womp womp.
So it concerns me because there's a lot of faith, effort, and energy.
How many fakes do you have in your case?
I got one big one back there, and we've already talked about
Yeah.
Episode 1.
So I'm just concerned with how far do we go before people go, it's too dirty for me to get involved with.
How long did it go before it was found?
Yeah.
That's a
out.
good question. I'm not
Quite
quite
good
sure.
question to ask her.
You
That's
are.
all you're here for.
You're
When I think.
you're here to stir the
When I'm-
pot.
when I'm not
and then-
sleeping or
and then
napping.
jump out.
Or yawning,
right?
yeah.
So I know that it was long enough that enough emails were found between presidents and certain situations. FBI got involved. Nobody was, I think, arrested, but companies were fined. They were threatened. If you do it again, you're going to go to prison, blah, 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 blah.
See, all that insider
It's not real
stuff
prison.
makes me think of people who are working in these retail stores who are sneaking all the retail stuff that comes in and
Wouldn't surprise
taking
me.
it off the shelves.
Well, it puts these guys, it puts LCS guys, in question. If
Oh,
if
yeah.
the higher ups are doing it at that level, what's the little guy at the bottom?
Oh yeah, everybody thinks that they're trying to get greedy.
So what concerns me is
But not here at Turf and Dirt.
if somebody walks in and they're looking for an honest, no crap opinion about getting something graded, and I turn them on to a certain company, and then tomorrow releases, oh, by the way, you're never getting your cards back because the company's under investigation. People have been arrested.
Then you lose your credibility.
Correct. I didn't force, but I directed him in that direct. I mean, it's a concern. Reputation is utmost in this business. When I see these things and I think to myself, if as a local LCS we operated under those same bounds, we would be out of business.
Right.
There's a certain point where you become big enough that you're unaffected by the normal rules of society, right?
You think you're bigger?
But at what point do those guys get affected? I mean, right now, Beckett or PSA, excuse me. I don't want to, speak for Beckett, heaven forbid.
Belay my last.
But PSA has so much business, they've suspended certain grading operations until they can get it.
Well, that's great.
That tells me that they're
neutralized.
they're printing money in the back.
Hey, somebody's got to do it.
And you know what? People are coming in droves wanting to still send stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I got a coworker who wants to send a whole bunch of Pokemon cards.
I heard that's the thing. Did you hear that?
Next question.
See. All right, so enough of that. Enough of the heavy stuff. We're going to get into some of the funner, lightweight. By the way, I need because I blew out one, so producer can get me an extra glove.
Uno mas.
Because now comes FanDuel, baby.
FanDuel. Tony was creeping.
How'd you do? 19th?
And
So
I was like,
for a minute. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, as I understand it, we were the only one in Group 2.
yeah,
You finished first or last?
we didn't have that many.
I think we
Actually.
finished last.
So the Northwest.
I was creeping for a while. I texted. I sent him a message. D-Mag's a message. I was
You don't even message me.
Northwest Chili Dogs.
because
I'm interested in
busy.
hearing this.
you're busy.
Northwest Chili Dogs. Chris Harveston came up with the victory.
I had a very good opportunity.
You did.
I was climbing fast. I got to 3 or 2.
It was the Devontae Booker that sort of.
I wouldn't have
shot
known
you.
that because you
Yeah.
didn't message me.
Sixth.
So.
You actually finished sixth overall.
Overall,
That's
when I
pretty
was
messed
like
up.
with like one game left,
So
I
you
was
were
at
at-
like third or something.
So it was actually pretty close between 4 through 6. 121 is where you finished. Then 122, 123. Third place was 137. Then second place was 144, and first place was 150. What's crazy though is the discrepancy of last week. It was like a 120 score got you
Overall,
first place.
So
This
let-
week it was 150.
So let me ask you: has it been 10 straight weeks of FanDuel?
Yes.
How do you feel it's been going? I mean, do you think it's been?
I mean, I know all-
worthwhile competition, or
I know all the people that I'm in contact with love doing it. They are the more strategic. They're trying to.
I ain't winning, so I hate it.
Yeah, well, that's what one of my buddies said. He's like, I keep finishing in the top 5. I'm done with this. He's like, I'm
No, I'm just
over it.
kidding.
And I'm like, well, you're over it because you always are the first loser. So
how do you think I feel? I got to finance all the damn pack rips.
yeah, I'm trying to come up with
You're
strategies.
just upset because you don't have the machismo
and,
for the
and
week.
Devin and Devin in front of Jimmy. Don't call me Northwest Chili Dog. So.
Yeah. What this was
Okay, so number 1, the vodka's burning my eye. Number 2,
Tony's burning my other eye.
you are cut off from any turf and dirt inside activity from now on.
So right here, the shiesty thing that FanDuel did is Taysom Hill was classified as a tight end because he
He
hadn't.
was the starting quarterback for the Saints this week.
But
he
they
got the
didn't.
points.
They didn't know, and he
That hurt my eye.
has
by the way.
played so many different positions. So like in baseball fantasy, you have guys who are
Utility.
but they're listed as first base, second base, third base. So they list at all those multiple positions. He was listed strictly as tight end because he's been sort of that utility role with the Saints. But then this week, he is only listed as a quarterback.
So today there was because we were talking about that card earlier. So that same person pulled a Taysom Hill quarterback out of the encased part of Illusions.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a Mirage, it was called. Yeah, it was a Taysom Hill
I would
quarterback
sell that
auto.
thing quickly.
Yeah, I don't know what he's going to do with it, but
And what was
but he
sent
was
it-
ranked as a quarterback, not
So
a tight
I'd send
end.
it to Beckett.
this
course you
week
would.
this week he is listed as a quarterback, so you cannot get that loophole and get him in your tight end spot.
Is he
'cause
starting though? Is
He
Drew
is.
Brees from his? Because
Oh.
Drew Brees was revived, right?
he's got 17 broken ribs,
11 broken ribs.
even though there's only like 12 in the body.
and 5 of his lungs are punctured.
Oh, that is super dope. I'm glad I have his autograph Funko just to back that
And in
up.
the hospital, they gave him a gown for 6'3", and he's like 5.
But this
You
week
can't say hospital today.
Hospital.
Yeah, there you go.
this week is going to be interesting because first of all, everybody's got to get in their
Quickly.
teams in by pretty much tomorrow
Because
night
we have
because
Turkey Bowl.
we have Turkey Bowl 9:30, 9:00, 9:30 is game one.
Who is game one?
Texans Lions, and then the lunchtime game is Washington and Dallas,
Which might not be
and
bad.
the dinner time game is Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Boring.
That's
going
to be a good one, minus all their running backs being injured.
That shows how much you know about the NFL.
I mean,
So let me ask you: is Danucci starting for the
no,
Cowboys?
Dalton won. Dalton came back.
The Red Rocket, dude.
CeeDee Lamb looked
The
good.
Red Robin. Can I
Zeke-
get to season fries?
Zeke looked good. Everybody looked good now with Dallas back there. Minus their.
Sorry.
So did
defense.
Alex Smith.
I'm
Alex Smith
trying
did
to
look
be
good.
Saturday Jimmy right now.
You know-
And Chase
Sorry.
Young, my man, is on fire.
And I respect Chase Young a lot for everything he said
You know
for
what
Joe Burrow, so I
pisses
appreciate
me off,
that.
though, is like I look at Chase Young's stuff.
It's just not moving because he's a defensive player.
It's like his autographs. I mean, you want to talk about pooping on a dude?
But it's like what you say about the MLB.
I almost bought his
Do
jersey
you,
yesterday.
do you chase a pitcher?
Yeah, but to have a stud like him on the
Yeah,
defense.
but for some reason, defensive players don't.
I mean, it's one thing if you're a D tackle, right? You're a 380-pound.
Geno Adkins.
I wasn't going
He's
to go
not
there,
380
but
though.
it's one thing. But he is a roving. Was he defensive end?
Yeah, I mean he's a
He's a
beast.
sack master, right? His job is to get past the tight end / and/or tackle.
And
I'm
I got
surprised I knew that, right?
I got to shout out the 500 level shirts for making a shirt of my boy Carl Lawson that says he practices safe sacks. I loved it. I wish I came up with it.
Sacks.
He practices safe sacks.
I'm uncomfortable right now. Are you uncomfortable? I'm uncomfortable.
It's a great shirt. I'm buying it.
Sacks or
My eyes burning.
Well, anyways, here we go.
sickles? Safe sickles.
With the magic of
TV.
TV, we're going to have a Illusions pack
So
ripped.
who is this?
Chris Harveston, another
AKA
co-worker.
Tony, a.k.a. Chili Dog.
Chili Dog. This is his second. So we've had three winners
Can
with
you
the
do something
repeats.
about- what's his name? All right, here we go.
All right, let's go.
Van Jefferson in the front.
It's always the rookie in the
Yeah,
front.
I'm just thinking you're looking just to make comments. Like
I'm
you're
gonna
not,
take a swing. I'll take the last guy is DK Metcalf.
Van Jefferson.
really.
I don't know. What is it?
No, you think that's like a David Copperfield? Is it David Copperfield?
Jose Copperfield.
He
Van Jefferson.
he actually scored a touchdown.
Oh, look at that. Kirk Cousins blew to 7-5. How are the Vikings doing this year?
He played really good. He was actually one of the top guys
They
for
lost, but they played well.
for air quarterback of the week.
You know,
So listening to you, you would think great, good, happy to get this. Listening to him, laying down in
I
traffic.
like Cousins.
I like it. I like Cousins.
All right, here we go. But the
Vikings.
odd thing is allusions to 75. You don't see that very often.
It's an
So.
illusion.
Ooh,
It's just an illusion.
look at that nice acetate.
Look at that. Astounding Jordan Love. When is he getting to see the field?
He's getting no love.
Do you think, is it either a Rodgers injury or a Turkey Bowl blowout? They're not even playing on Thanksgiving.
No,
Damn
Thank
it.
God.
Rodgers injury. Do you know we have Saturday games this week too?
Do we really?
2 Saturday games.
Is that because of COVID?
No, that's just because towards the end of the year they always go Saturday
He's
games.
Really
We
good.
got to get a snow game. I'm dying for a true snow game.
He's
Not a
really good
flurries.
with holding the mic, by the way.
The Chiefs had a snow game earlier.
That's got to stand, you know.
I know. I gotta
I
set
need
it
to
back
hold
down.
mine now, too. So we have Stefan. Let's all hold our mics. How do you feel? Better? Good.
Stephon
Gilmore. He was Defensive Player of the Year last year.
Yeah, and he also has had COVID.
That's right. That
All
just
right,
happened.
this is the hot card.
DK.
DK,
His hair is not orange or
It's
pink,
pink.
and or green in this
Mr.
picture.
Dennis Rodman of the NFL.
Do you think he would appreciate that comment?
Yeah, sure. Don't hurt me, DK.
Is he binary?
Binary.
I don't know.
DK is a monster. He's a physical beast.
He is physical.
I saw a podcast though with DK and Aaron Donald on it, and the guys on doing the podcast looked like some Joe Schmo. I mean, their
you doing?
setup was no big deal.
What are you doing watching on the podcast?
I gotta see the competition. But
Are you cheating on us?
Aaron Donald and
How do you guys
DK
feel about that?
Metcalf.
We're gonna do a poll. Do you think Devin's cheating?
Yeah, that's my wife probably thinks that too. Jeez.
All right. So this was actually a pretty good box.
De-
So
decent little pack here. I mean,
Yeah, not
the Jordan Love acetate, DK for being a Seattle area. I'm sure he'll pawn that off on a coworker.
you think I need to top load it?
DK.
DK.
I would definitely sleeve it.
Bottom-load
Sleeve it. Top load it. Sleeve it. Show it to your friends.
So good pack, good week.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Everybody's got to pay attention to this week. I'm going heavy Thanksgiving players just because I know I'm going to be for sure getting to watch all those games. So
So mine, I'm going to be doing a remote ripping 6 boxes
Oh.
of Children's Hospital.
that's a lot of boxes. You should be ripping some more impeccable to see
Gotta
if you
find
can get
that
a
money card, huh?
blockchain.
Definitely. I'm going to be a heathen with everybody else. So, all right.
I'm
Cha-ching,
gonna contact.
cha-ching.
I'm gonna contact the SOPDL.
Yeah, I prefer to hold this from now on. So we're going to do this like this.
Hey, it's the official way.
It
You
is
gotta
the official
When in
way.
doubt, peeky out though.
All right.
I'm gonna put mine on a lanyard. on a lanyard. Right?
You all right?
Put it on a lanyard.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Are you sure?
Actually, I think holding the mic is not too
I
shabby.
kind of like it. I'm digging it. I feel more official that way.
Yeah, instead of having to lean over.
Yeah, you got to be like, you're a slave to the stand. Right now,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
making the stand work for me.
See, we gotta
how
prep
do you-
because if we do that,
How do you drink your cocktail while you're holding that thing?
Oh, that just happened.
If
So
we-
here we
We're
go.
gonna put a straw to the mic.
if we go remote, man, this is us.
It is, and I'm liking the idea of doing a December feed from Auburn Super Outlet Mall,
Super.
so we can watch Tony try on Husky Schmedium jerseys.
from the tuna can corridor.
No, we're gonna get a hold of them and say, hey, let's spread this
Sardine
spread
can,
this guy out.
yeah.
So we had a little technical snafu as always.
Never.
This is in the raw though, right?
We're perfect.
You prefer that.
We're raw all the time.
Raw all the time. So we're going to talk a little bit about Black Friday. We got into it a little bit. So-
Long lines.
So last year being a holiday guy, I was not anticipating kind of what was waiting for us on Black Friday. Long line out the door. y'all right?
He's mocking
you.
you.
Anyway, please.
Talk to the
So
hand.
I think the big thing, I mean, people are after certain specials, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm not going to announce it because, I don't want the line to be super long,
Huge.
like pot shop long.
Huge mungus.
Gnarly. What is that?
That's your nose.
Is you're serious?
Yeah.
I don't hear it now.
It might be the nose ring.
Okay. So we weren't expecting big lines. We turned on to Kentucky, see a huge line waiting for us to open up. Couldn't believe it. Didn't understand what was going on.
Can you emphasize on the Kentucky because they think it's KFC?
Kentucky.
Street.
Okay. Go ahead.
Really?
Oh.
I really don't like him right now. So, but we were geared up for, and I think producer would confirm this, we were anticipating a huge December, right? But we didn't follow traditional, I think, retail.
Protocol.
We followed protocol. The end result was not the same. So people tend to go super hardcore Black Friday, getting into
The spirit.
correct, leading up to December. First week of December was pretty good, but after that, it was actually probably the worst month we had sales wise.
Because everybody's scrambling at all the other department stores.
There's lots of other gifts
there's
that need to be bought.
Exactly. The big buy items, TVs, consoles.
So, coming into this year, we have a little bit more grounded opinion of, but Black Friday is going to be fun.
Just
We're
gotta-
super excited for it.
Hope that everybody comes through the door still.
I think there
Support-
will be.
Support your local shops, small businesses.
Small businesses, very important. I'm not sure how COVID is going to affect everything, but we'll find out because we're 3 days away.
Yeah, we're in it.
And we will be limiting them how many occupants are in the building.
Right. So for our shop, it's 6. Is that correct? 7. So we're allowed to have
Including-
7 in at a time, not including employees.
Gotcha.
So we have 800 square feet. 27 is our capacity, but 25% of that is 7.
A
So
partridge in a pear tree.
And that's fine because it gives people some elbow room to check the cases.
correct.
Well,
so
not just that. If there are people in line, I just thought of this right now. Another one of my great ideas.
all
The
right, I'll
menus.
take a nap.
That's where
Let
the
me know
menus.
when
That's
it's
when the
over.
menus can actually be handed out to the people in line.
Yeah.
So they can kind of have something to read. Jimmy gives them hot
Blah
cocoa.
blah 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 blah.
Hot cocoa and Twinkies.
All right, so specials going on Black Friday at Turf and Dirt. I'm going to a little self promotion here, but 9 to 12, we're doing 10% off memorabilia. Is that correct?
Correct.
12 to 8, so 8 hours straight. We are doing 10% off single cards in the cases. Does that include the white boxes?
White boxes are its own little special sale.
So white boxes from the back will be plunked out onto a table in the showroom. Get after it, baby. And then all day we are offering $50 gift cards. You will get a $60 value.
Nice.
That just blew your mind.
Love it.
I'm still calculating.
Pay for 50, get 60 in return.
So if I bought $100 worth,
That
I'm
would be
getting
120
nice.
value.
I'm liking it.
We're ballers.
Imagine you got 250.
Yeah.
So
that's a
aside
lot.
from Super Grinch and
Mr.
kinda-
Grinch.
exactly, I thought it would be a fun kind of time to talk about some of our holiday traditions growing up and then what we currently have as an adult. Do you want us to skip over you for this
I'll be
episode?
last. I'll follow
Okay.
you guys.
So for me, and I'm going to start off just because I can. So when I was a kid, we would go to my aunt's house, my Aunt Sue, rest in peace. We would have holiday, Thanksgiving there. And when we were done as kids, we would go down to the rec room and we would watch
Football.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That was our kickoff to
The holidays.
the
The day.
holidays.
Oh, the whole.
So when this opportunity to get the Clark Griswold hockey jersey for this episode, I couldn't pass it up. My aunt died last year, so it was kind of a nice tribute to her. I remember that as a kid. It affects me still today. We watch it every year, Stacy and I, and we've kind of developed that extra passion for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation because of that.
Keep
it
it
affected
going.
me as a kid. Now, we are a big Christmas family in our house. We have lots of traditions. The tradition as an adult that I enjoyed, that we can't enjoy any longer. So during the December, because my daughter's birthday is 7 days, right? 7 days before mine. So we would always, Star Wars would seem to always be releasing in December, right? There was always a new Star Wars release in kind of late December. So we would always do it as a joint daughter-father birthday, right? We would go to dinner, movie, almost simultaneously. Can't do that now because of COVID.
Correct.
I didn't realize how much that would affect me. So the restaurant that is next to the theater in Barclay Village opened up when
Luna's.
What is the name? It's not Luna. Yeah, see, producer was all over you.
Is
on
it
that.
Luna's?
No.
The one next to it?
You're talking
The
about the
sushi
sushi
place.
place.
Oh, the sushi place.
The
Zen.
conveyor belt sushi.
Zen.
So we went to eat there,
Kobayashi.
and I actually was almost in tears leaving because the theater was dark.
Yeah, it's a pretty
Cobwebs
sad
everywhere.
Regal Cinema.
So that is a tradition we're not going to be able to realize this year, unfortunately. Yes.
But how about this?
You're going to make fun of something, right? This is a wholesome family. This is a father-daughter bonding moment, and you're going to mess it up. Go ahead.
There's always the capability, as they rent those theaters out for parties, that you can hire that. You can call and find out from management if you can rent yourself and bring your child and your wife.
Do they
or
rent those
25
out?
for parties?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't realize
You can
that.
rent an entire theater.
But now,
Oh, I don't know now, but I mean, it's something. It's worth a try.
Should we try that?
Just bringing the ideas, like as I always do.
I can't wait to hear your traditions, but he's going next. So,
Mine's Spanish. Anybody gonna listen anyway?
my traditions are,
so as a kid,
unfortunately, no traditions. Like my family
Really?
was big into the holidays. My mom still is. She's more so the decorator. Like if there's one childhood memory I have, besides for like, my mom is a massive shopper. So as soon as I get out of my bedroom door, like from the front door of the house by where the Christmas tree was, just a trail of presents going into the hallway. I mean, you had to play like mines jumping over them. So that was, we were definitely fortunate enough to have the luxury there.
I'm just thinking about something. Go ahead. Sorry.
But
what is wrong with you?
No, just,
the big thing for me that I always remember is every year we had a big bay window in the front of our house. My mom bring out her artistic side that I never knew she really had, and she would always paint some sort of whatever the hit
like window mural.
yeah,
type
but
of thing?
whatever our childhood characters were growing
Oh,
up,
nice.
like
And you guys didn't
Nin-
know this when she did it. She would
she
surprise
would
you
just
with it.
yeah, she would just put up whatever, and she always come. I mean, Ninja Turtles, freaking Super
That's
Mario,
cool.
and she'd always have some big mural out there. All the characters would have in Santa hats and Christmas
cool.
themes. So, and that's something she actually started doing at her house where we are now. Just over the last couple of years, trying to do it for my kids and my niece. So give them that little bit, but that would be the only tradition. Until this year, I wasn't really much of a Christmas person, having 5 kids and some of my kids not living with me.
Yeah, but you got a brand new house.
Yeah.
Kind of that whole, you could just set it up.
And so with this year, I definitely, with everything going on, I wanted to go a little more out. So I got the lights done today. I got Santa blown up doing the wave.
Did you know that you can actually buy Santa to ride in your car or a snowman to ride in your car?
I did not until I saw a snowman hitchhiking.
From your Jeep.
That's
Yeah,
damn right.
that is interesting.
And respect Evan.
So all I know
when the
is
season's over, you keep that guy as a HOV lane guy.
yeah,
that is
that's all I
damn
want to know
right.
is if you could ride in the HOV lane.
That is damn right. And you know what? When
Put
we
a
leave
jacket
here
on him.
tonight, guess what? Stacy's riding in the back because Fred is
Your
in the
boy's a
front.
shotgun.
Shotgun.
But yeah, I'm looking forward
And
to
I
this
didn't
Christmas.
even make her do it.
So Tony, what do you got?
This will be fun.
I remember making the trek every year. Every year, we were living in Jersey at the time.
It's not in
And-
Spanish yet.
Yeah, it's not gonna be. We were living in Jersey. We make our trek, which was a great thing because when you were driving out there, the snow's everywhere, and you're going to these big cities. You're crossing, you're going through the tunnel, and then you're going into Long Island, and see my cousins, and all the cousins would get together every year. And it was just a cool thing because you didn't have to worry about parents. Because back in those days, in the '70s, it was like
Kids took care of themselves.
yeah, pretty much. And we were just happy to be around each other. Seeing whatever the new thing the cousin had or gotten.
Yeah.
While the parents were all
The
drinking.
new G.I. Joe, right?
Exactly right with the kung fu grip. It was like the parents they would all be socializing, drinking, sitting on the
And then
couches.
the big brown shark.
Sitting on the couches with the plastic all over it. You
Oh
stick
God,
to.
I got that.
Thank God it was winter, because they cracked and we were all happy. Like, we hate this stuff, But no, I was just getting together with the cousins. It was pretty. It was a unique time. It was different than nowadays. There were no phones and no iPads and no
Oh, yeah.
nothing. We were playing games, or we were just You know, we were looking at baseball cards. I mean, somebody had
Sure.
collected. We were just seeing what you got because I would bring. My mother's like, don't bring all your stuff to to your cousin's
some
house.
trades.
I remember hearing
And
that
I got-
same thing.
And it wasn't any organization to it. It was a brown paper bag, like you took your lunch in, and my cards were in there, and that was my backpack.
Oh, man.
And that's what I was taking to my cousin's house
Ouch.
to show the cards.
Sure.
And I still remember it was late '70s, but it was like the Yankees were good. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
So-
but it was kind of the trip and then the food, and then there was always the one child who got in trouble, and my cousin's dad, for misbehaving, he'd put Tabasco sauce on his lips.
Oh God.
That was you can get away with that those days. Try that now.
I remember having to pick the switch out of the front tree
and so I would do everything in my possibility to get him to get in trouble, so I can watch that happen.
so you can watch the Tabasco on the lips.
But then my cousin, the father, rest in peace, Charlie, he would be like, "You're getting it too."
Oh God.
So he would know that you would be after.
Yeah, because I was like the 1 minute older cousin of all the cousins, So, but it was good times. It was special times, and most of
Yeah.
those adults
Mini
in my
reunions.
family, most of those people are all gone. Everybody's
Oh, man.
gone. Yeah, it's just the cousins remain now, right?
Do you have any traditions now with your kids and your wife and
And now the
something that
traditions,
you
the
guys
traditions
do?
now they're not really my traditions. They're my wife's traditions, and dealing with her family. So in our household, we split the major holidays: Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Grandma and Grandma get Christmas. We get Easter, and my brother-in-law in Seattle gets Thanksgiving. And they cook up a storm. Once again, all the cousins are there, and
Oh, wow.
everybody's there. I mean, and then there's two families, right? Because my sister-in-law's family also comes out now, so it's huge. All the dogs are in the house. All the
Holy
animals
cow.
are out, and it's totally cool.
Not this year, right?
The house is and not this year. This year, actually, they're just doing my wife just finished baking 13 pies today.
Oh God.
And that's going to be so it gets distributed. So he's bringing stuff down. So and we're doing our own Thanksgiving at home, small, just an intermediate family.
Sure.
A turkey for 5. And just so Inslee doesn't say anything.
So that's the thing. So my mother-in-law, big family, right? So she just redid her dining room because it wasn't adequate enough because we have a large family.
Right.
We're talking about how many grandkids? 7? 6? 7? We're talking about, I'm talking immediate, right? Big
Yeah.
family. Dining room wasn't adequate enough. So she redid the house, redid the whole dining room just for the moment for Thanksgiving. So let me ask you, when you were a kid growing up, did you have a favorite food at Thanksgiving?
My grandmother, this is crazy. My Panamanian grandmother would always make this Spanish rice.
Really?
And oh man,
Do you still get that today?
no, she's not as much in the cooking.
Sure.
She's still with us, but she's not so much in the kitchen.
Has your wife tried to pick it up at all, or?
I couldn't trust my wife to cook me a freaking peanut butter jelly sandwich. That's actually, she can make that pretty good.
So let me ask you, Tony, is there some Thanksgiving meal dish that you like?
Obviously, everybody, the staples.
We're
are
getting
turkey stuffing.
intimate right now.
So I love oysters. So I love seafood. I love oysters. So my sister-in-law every year seems to make this oyster type stuffing, and literally, I'm probably the only person out of 30
Who eat it?
who eats it, and
That's
I
a
eat
random
half the damn
stuffing.
casserole pot. And it's because it's just different, and people try it. It's just
Yeah.
it's an acquired taste, but for me, it's
That's wild.
with pearl onions. But-
Actually, it doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, no, it's really good stuff. So my brother-in-law this year, because he's delivering all certain things of certain portions of things to the families.
Yeah.
So he's coming up, and this year they made me a small
Oh, your own
oyster,
personal.
with the pearl onions too that I like.
Nice. So I know for us, what we do is we always do the family Thanksgiving, right? So we'll gather with, and then we always do a intimate one for just in our house.
Right.
So we're doing our separate on Sunday. Stacy's going to cook a turkey and do the whole thing. Now, I'm particular about Thanksgiving. That's my one food holiday that it's got to be a certain way, how I remember it, right? So my grandma, my mother's mother, did stuffing and she just kind of cooked a certain way, but it's just the stuffing part that I remember the most, right? And my mom could never get it done correctly, right? It wasn't until Stacy did it. I remember our first Thanksgiving, she dry run at it.
To the T.
Absolutely the same. Like, I was thrown back as a 10-year-old sitting at my grandma's table.
Ratatouille.
I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, this every year. So, click list this year, but every year Stacy's getting the same ingredients. I'm super excited because I get to actually relive my childhood a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Spot on. I couldn't believe. I cried the first time I ate it. I couldn't believe it because my grandma and I were close.
That's
right?
personal.
Like, it was absolutely personal.
And like we did our turkey buying today. You know, you don't buy it weeks in advance when you got a freezer or something. You know,
Right.
Good. So we went today, and she's like, "What else do you want for Thanksgiving?" And of course, with me, it's turkey, so it's some sort of meat, right?
green bean casserole.
So no, that's the thing though.
You don't do green bean casserole?
No, I don't
Really?
do green beans at all. And then so she asked me,
Ouch.
"What else do you want?" And I said, "White rice and black beans." It's like the Cuban staple.
Yeah.
Right?
There you
I can
go.
eat anything. So that's what we're kind of doing our own thing at home.
Sure.
It should be fun. And this time, for the first time, I say ever, I'm actually going to be in the kitchen all day long helping her out.
Oh, that's
I told her, if
Wow.
you want to even get me, you even want to
An
get me
apron?
an apron, I'll wear the apron too, and I'll I'll be your
Wow.
prep cook. I'll be whatever. And I never do that.
Are you going to do a selfie? Because I want to see your
She'll probably
ass
do
in
a
one of
selfie.
those.
He'll probably do selfie.
I got a Bengals apron
know.
I'll wear.
There you go.
You know,
I don't have a Mariner one, so
yeah.
I don't wear aprons. So
But anyway, so we're gonna give it a shot. You know, my kids are picky eaters, so it's like she's looking at the different turkey sizes. 20-pound, 15-pound. I'm like, just get a turkey for two. The boys only eat mac and cheese.
Yeah.
yeah, but
You know?
are you guys looking forward to the holiday? Do you look forward to it?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, every year we do. I don't look forward to all the busy work and prepping, but
Sure.
my wife comes from a family that is she'll spend 3 days at my mother-in-law's house, stay there, and work on the full
Prepping.
setup because she had one of those. What do they call those rooms? Like a grand room or something? What do they call those rooms? Is it a grand room?
Hell if I don't know.
I think
Anyway,
so.
it's and this room is solely all Christmas.
But it's like it's a
It's a
show
room to
off
its own.
room.
Yeah,
right?
and it's got all their fine little china, and my wife
Nativity
does a full nativity
set.
scene, all that stuff. And so I love above the mantle. What my wife does to a T is she's collected so many porcelain, like it's an entire city.
Sure.
I threw in the idea of like, hey, let's do a train this year. I love trains.
So here's a little insight into. So Stacy is very big with Department 56. You ever familiar with that?
I know.
So they are a company that does a lot of like village, Christmas village kind of stuff. So I actually did one myself. So we met at a Woods Coffee in Linden. So as a gift, wasn't that the first year? I actually did the stencil for the sticker of Woods Coffee on the outside of it
So romantic.
and made it and gave it to her as a gift. But Department 56, so in our house, she sets out this elaborate village, right? Department 56, Disney everywhere. It's pretty cool. Like if I was a mini figure, I'd be happy to be
You got to get a turf and dirt.
chilling. We actually talked about that. So we were looking at villages going, how do we convert one into a turf and dirt shop?
Right.
Right? So anyway.
That's the way to go.
All right. So that was the feel-good story of the year, right?
Yeah. Got to have
Literally,
a little
because the
holiday.
year ends in like a month and a half. So, all right. So we're gonna look forward to next week's episode. So we're gonna do post Thanksgiving.
We'll still be full, right?
Yeah.
I will
Because
be.
Thanksgiving I eat.
So do I.
Till I'm blown.
And if he's having a Sunday Thanksgiving, yeah, he'll be.
I'm doing it
He'll be-
twice. So
So we may not see him. We might be doing it
I'm good to
ourselves.
go.
He might be remote.
So you're
I
remote.
might be absent.
You're remote. I'm just gonna be in here by myself.
And you never know. Maybe a remote thing for everybody would be kind of different. Get
Nah,
the family in there.
That's just that's setting the bar low.
because you can carry around a mic like you like doing.
I'm digging it. Are
Yeah,
you digging it?
I am.
I'm digging it.
I'm hands free, baby.
I like it.
Be safe if you're driving. All right, so we're going to look forward to releases next week. So Cyber Monday. So this is a unique time, right? So we are getting releases on Friday for Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday releases Rookies and Stars football.
Which is out in retail for some reason.
Yep, and D-Mags does not have a high opinion of that, right?
It's pretty trash.
And then we have, which is unusual, is the No Huddle release of Prism Football.
Yeah, that's just to come before the
To have the retail config come before the hobby
the chicken
is,
before the egg.
Yeah, it's a little weird. But unfortunately, this year, that's what we have to deal with. So that will be Cyber Monday. And then let's see, what else do we have? That looks to be about it. So we had slated about 15 releases like for tomorrow.
Just getting spread out.
Man, most of them were pushed.
Yeah, I mean,
So we're looking at, out of the 15, I think we had 5 that actually released on time this month. Everything else was pushing into December. So, and then I hear we have Donruss Optic Football.
yeah,
that
2
hits
days before Christmas.
December 23rd. That is a anticipated release.
Yeah, no, that's
I have no idea what it's going to release at. If Prism released at 1,000,
Prism's 1,000.
Prism's
what
at
is the no huddle?
1,000. No huddle's at $750 for the box. That's an 18-pack configuration for $750 is crazy.
That's not terrible.
For 5 cards?
Depends on what the math is. I'm not going to do it in my head.
Obviously that one person out of the whole United States that buys the one pack for $87.50 pulls the Joe Burrow silver or the Justin Herbert silver. He loves no huddle.
$42 a pack.
Never mind, $42 a pack.
Hey, speaking of which, backtracking back to the card show. How about that guy that had all those Herberts? Like
Which guy?
the model plane guy. He had the Herberts.
Oh, yeah, he did.
From
I was more focused on the models, but we're gonna do a hobby.
There was models
We're gonna do
there?
a hobby day, right?
See, now I'm really mad that I didn't go and there was models.
Oh, there was like World War II everything.
Oh, that's not
I
the
got
kind of models I
Japanese
wanted.
Zero. Yeah.
Oh,
The male
oh,
models.
snap.
The
That's not funny. I don't think that's funny at all.
He chuckles at anything.
All right, guys. So we are done with episode 10. 10 straight weeks.
a shout out to Joey B. Heal up.
R.I.P.
We need you back.
You
See you
found
next
something
year.
today at Turf and Dirt, right? What was that? You found on the break mat earlier?
Oh, I found an RIP to all the quarterbacks for the COVID season.
Hashtag COVID football.
Yeah, I mean it's killing a lot of
miss that.
guys.
I can't wait to see Finley.
Yeah,
oh.
Did they bring
whatever.
somebody on?
No, they brought up Brandon Allen off the practice squad.
They should have hired.
They should have gotten Rosen from the practice squad.
No,
They should have hired Ben DiNucci.
I'm coming out there. Or there was this guy that would, this ginger who can throw
Andy
the ball.
Dalton.
Yeah, he would have been really fucking good.
Well, just remember, folks, to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications.
Let's go.
So we want to wish everybody
And
a
share.
happy
Thanksgiving.
Happy
right?
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Watch some football, eat some food. We're going to be back
Play some FanDuel.
next week. We're going to recap it all. Once again, Cards Corner
Hey,
in the Raw.
And we're getting that no huddle, so we'll be ready for that show.
Absolutely. All right, guys. We are out of here.
We're out.
Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.